update. There we go. Sup, ladies and gentlemen, Aquilon here, and welcome back to each one of you. And of course, if you're watching this over on YouTube, remember to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, but most importantly, hit the link in the description down below. It is always better when it's live. Mr. Smokin', how you doing, brother? Good morning to you. You've been early. Fucking hell. You've been coming even earlier. I've started streaming earlier, and now you've been arriving earlier. How you doing, brother? Happy to have you, man. Happy to be here. Doing good, man. I'm always early. Hey, I fucking love it, bro. Absolutely love it. Happy to have you here. Happy to be back. Back in business. Let's do a notification update here for people who want to come in and check out the stream. Why not? SPJ, how you doing, brother? We are live. Absolutely. Canny Ass, how you doing, brother? Zero Kool-Aid, how you doing? Hope you're doing well. Oh, why wouldn't I? It's Thursday, man. It's Thursday. Thursday is a good day. Get it with the ad attack? Oh, for fuck's sake. Fucking ads, bro. You're looking a hell of a lot better. You still looked half dead during Sunday Chill Show? Oh, yeah. I was still half dead during Sunday Night Chill Show. I'm finally feeling good again. I'm finally feeling like myself again. I've got energy. I've been working. I've been making videos. A lot of Final Fantasy content coming your way in the next week or so. So really looking forward to that. It's been fun making videos about different games. You know, something that isn't WoW. Because I do think that WoW is being replaced slowly but surely. So yeah, Elodie, GoldenEye, Isaac, how you doing, bro? Lil Moonswag, Malachi, how's everyone doing? Happy to have all of you here. Welcome to the stream. Happy Thursday. Happy Thursday. Big Trouble Inc., how you doing, brother? It's just been like, it's been an absolute shit show. Whenever you do anything with World of Warcraft, people unsub from the channel. The vast majority of my comment section no longer plays WoW. So I think it's time for a bit of a change up. I'm not going to stop covering WoW, but I'm going to start covering other content too. Let's see how it goes. I don't know if it's going to do WoW or not, but you know, just finished doing Praetorium. How did you enjoy that? The Praetorium was a pretty fun instance. I enjoyed the Praetorium very much. Only alive a little. Oh, Kit the Mage, how you doing, bro? Caramel, how you doing? Dude, I've been stuck looking for a group in for 1,000 Moors of Totorak for over a day now. You'd think a tank wouldn't have that much trouble finding a group. Tanks can take a while. Preacher's channel and stream are doing pretty good after AFF. Elodie, the truth is you can never bank on anyone else's success, right? Pyromancer is popping the fuck off since he switched to Final Fantasy, but you can never bank on that success. You can't look at what other people are doing and say, well, clearly since they're doing well, I will do well as well, right? Because that's just not how it works, sadly. I could be putting out a Final Fantasy video and get 500 views on the video, you know? I could put out a Final Fantasy video and get 100,000 views. It really depends. It depends on what your community wants to see, whether your community actually gives a fuck about the game in question. So it really depends. D-Zack, how you doing? Dalaman, haven't seen you in a while. How you doing, brother? Fumble Jerry, how you doing? Having a rough morning, honestly. Reaching my breaking point with the people who continually excuse Blizzard's actions as of late. Oh, Katie the Mage, don't even pay attention to that. Don't even pay attention to that. The amount of stupid that exists currently is surreal. But no, I'm gonna start diving into Final Fantasy. I want to dive into... I'm gonna do something different than Pyromancer in this regard, and I guess something different than most people are doing. I'm gonna use this opportunity to go into variety MMO content. I want to start covering more than just one MMO. So there's going to be a slew of Final Fantasy videos. Then we're going to play some Star Wars The Old Republic. Going to make videos on that, my experience, my first impressions on Star Wars The Old Republic. Might go Guild Wars 2, give that a go, see how Guild Wars 2 plays out. And then maybe try other MMOs, you know? Try basically every MMO on the market and see which are good and which is shit. Yeah, have some fun rather than just, you know, basically fucking... I don't want to get sucked into a single game audience again. Big Traveling, thanks for the deal and stuff, dude. Really appreciate that. 2 months in a row. Comrade, thank you so much for redistributing that wealth, brother. Looking forward to seeing you play new MMOs. I'm looking forward to doing it, and I think I'm going to enjoy it. Like I said, I'll still be doing WoW. This is mainly just going to be me sort of branching out into other things. And if we get to a point where, you know, the other MMOs are doing so much better than WoW that WoW is just no longer worth my time, because no one really cares to watch it, then maybe we'll stop doing the WoW stuff. But that'll depend, yeah? That'll depend on what the audience wants, because I make content for you guys. I don't really... as long as I love what I do, I'm happy. And I still love WoW lore. It just seems like the audience no longer cares about WoW lore. Looking at my audience, looking at the videos, it seems like the audience have moved the fuck on. It seems like the audience have gone, yeah, no, thanks. We don't care at all about any of this. Been mainly on Blizzard. I started following you for WoW and lore. I will gladly stick around. You won me over, man. You make good stuff. Katie the Mage, thank you very much. Really appreciate that. Still waking up. What is this live nonsense? Shay, welcome to the stream. Happy to have you back. And good morning. Good morning to you. I mean, they left us hanging dry with no info about 9.2 in sight, and they are busy censoring the game instead. Yeah, a loady true. I can see why a lot of people aren't very, very happy about where things are. But you know, the main channel has been, like, it's been sort of dead. I'm going to be honest with you. It's been sort of dead. We have, for example, looking at my subscribers, we've lost, just in the last 2 days, we've lost about 42 subscribers. Johnny Ass, thank you so much, tier 1 sub, dude. Really appreciate that. Gifted, motherfucker. Appreciate the redistribution of wealth, brother. Comrade. Good communist. Really appreciate that. But no, you know, we've lost about 42. That's not new, by the way. Almost every WoW content creator currently is losing subs. Whenever they upload a video about WoW, subs go down because people have stopped playing the game. People have moved the fuck on. People no longer want to play this game. And most people no longer really want to watch videos on the game. Which is sad, but, you know, to be expected. That's not the majority. There's still a lot of people that love that love WoW and want to watch it, but there is a very good amount of people that don't care. And yeah, I'm still happy to have you here. But look at my views, right? Let me show you guys. CDJ, thanks for the 100 bits, dude. Really appreciate that. Greetings, comrade. Really appreciate that. Arcanox, how you doing? Wow, you guys are spamming the Skamar strain way too often these days. You do know that, right? But you suck at the Skamar strain. You've never gotten it to level 5. In the last 6 months, we haven't had a level 5 Skamar strain. So stop spamming the Skamar strain, motherfuckers. Let me show you instead how my main channel is failing, because that's more fun. Yeah, Twitch is definitely popping off, Elodie, that's true. Look, I'm not complaining about this. I'm not complaining. I'm still making enough money to survive, to live. So, you know, very little complaints. But this month, for example, we're doing incredibly badly. Look at this. Look at the money. That's projected. That's how much money we might make this month. To give you guys an idea, that's about 70% less than what we usually make. So, you know, that's quite a fucking that's quite a system shock, if you ask me. But you know, it is what it is. Then of course we have, look at the views. Look at the fucking views. New video, 1,600 views. Another video, 2,000 views, 3,000 views. This is the last time we did anything really sort of respectable with 6,000 views. The deal got 10,000 views. That was pretty good. But you can see, just look at a few months back or a few weeks back, right? We would still break 10,000 every once in a while, break 6,000 every once in a while. Now look at it, just fucking dying out. There's more and more people. Don't pay attention to these. These are Patreon videos. They obviously don't get that many views because they're only available to patrons. But this is 1,600. This is 3,900. These videos are probably going to get 1,000 each as well. So I can't lose anything by trying something else. And that's why I'm going to stop making content elsewhere. You could always go the bad little route and only put out negative videos on WoW since they get 4 to 5 times more views. I don't want to do that, KT the Mage. I don't want to do that. I don't want to be negative for the sake of being negative. I'm happy to switch content, try something new, try something else, and see how that goes, you know? But you know something is the fuck up, right? You know something is up when you have a channel with 44,627 subs, right? And it is being... let me show you guys here. It is being outperformed in terms of views by a channel with 3,300. Look at this. My Clips channel is getting the same or more views on videos than my fucking main channel. That tells you something, right? That fucking tells you something. Caddy ass, thanks for the gifted sub, comrade. Really appreciate the redistribution of wealth, brother. The Socksman, I would hope you wouldn't. Yeah, no, I have no interest in it. But I mean, look at this, right? This channel is outperforming or performing equally to the main channel, which is like, fuck yeah, you know? So that's how I know it might be time to, it might be time to switch, you know? Jamie Rush, how you doing? Smokin', the reason I don't want to cover just negative content is because it brings you down. As a content creator, it brings you down when all you do is cover the negative stuff on World of Warcraft or in gaming in general. And I don't want that, you know? I want to focus on the good stuff. So I'm going to stop making videos on Final Fantasy. I'm going to have fun making videos on Final Fantasy, and hopefully, you know, hopefully that goes well. Hopefully people enjoy the Final Fantasy content. Hopefully when we get to Star Wars The Old Republic, people love that content. And we'll see how far we take this. Yeah, that's the plan. At least for me, that's the plan. Actually, I am reinstalling WoW today, even if only to see how desolate the servers is now. Fumble Jerry, that's good if you enjoy WoW, or if you miss WoW. I don't mind that. I don't judge people for playing WoW, by the way. I just don't at the moment. Shima, how you doing? Cannibal Corpse character now? They're gonna remove everything. That's just what it is, you know. Blue Fairy, how you doing? Gorgie, how you doing? Sword Art Online reactions. Yeah, I probably not. Look, I tried to watch Squid Game last night. I did not enjoy it. I couldn't even get past the first episode. The acting is completely over the top. It is shit acting. There was this moment where the guy broke the other guy's nose and he's bleeding, and the guy takes his finger in the blood and fucking licks it off, and it's like, oh my god, bro, what are you doing? That's not normal. No one would fucking do that. That is just trying to be a badass for the sake of being a badass. I can't watch this shit. Go back to WoW. Maybe there will be a future when the game can be good. Gentlemen, I'm not done with WoW, right? So unlike most content creators that have sort of washed their hands on WoW, I'm not done with WoW. I'm never going to be done with any specific game. That's just not how it works for me, you know? It's games, and if a game is good, I'll play it. It doesn't matter what the past is. Julo, how you doing? It doesn't matter what the past is of the video game. It doesn't matter that maybe the video game could have been in a better spot and it isn't in a better spot. That doesn't bother me. You know, I want to play video games that's fun. And if a game fixes itself and actually becomes fun, I don't see why I wouldn't play that video game. It makes no sense to me why I would go, no, because of the stuff that you did in the past, fuck you. I'm done with you. Why? It's a game. Games are supposed to be fun. If they're fun, I'm playing it. So I'm not done with WoW. Right now, I'm done with WoW because I don't find fun in the game. I'm struggling to find fun in the speculation, and that's because there is fuck all to speculate on. So that's why I'm branching into other content, trying my hand at other things. It's going to take some of the pressure off of me of trying to bring out new videos every single week when I can also bring out videos for other content, right? That's going to just relieve some of the pressure, so I can maybe do 1-2 lore videos a week rather than trying to push 5 lore videos a week, you know? So that's really where I am at the moment. Should acting, but great program equals Babylon 5. I've never watched Babylon 5. The changing NPC names makes me not want to play my priest. The name is a little spicy. They'll probably end up changing it. Get the mage, I know. I'm so sorry, guys. I really apologize for that. I know this is groundbreaking that I don't want to speculate on the same lore over and over again. I could probably do it, right? AV, how you doing? I could do it, right? There is a world in which I could keep pushing the same content over and over and over again, just in a different sort of style. And I could bring out videos that is basically the same shit over and over again. But I thought to myself that would not be fair to my community. I know this is groundbreaking stuff because most YouTubers just ride the wave, right? But I've always done YouTube because I love YouTube and I love what I do on YouTube, and I would not enjoy having to do the same shit over and over again. That's not really my style. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes, you know? When Akalon tried to find the time to watch Babylon 5, just hang on till first season. Jikar and Londo become whole. Alright, I will. I'm a huge fan of sci-fi stuff, so I will definitely do it. Still no package yet, Akko? Nothing. Blue Fairy? Nothing. Michendo, by the way, thank you for the follow earlier today. Saw your name pop up. Really appreciate you, bro. What's up, brother? What are we ranting about today? I haven't found something rant-worthy yet, but, you know, it's still early. Stuff might change. But no, I mean, look, yeah, it's one of those things. You have to make a decision as a content creator. What do you find fun? And sometimes what you find fun is to change shit up, you know? Do something new. Try something new. So definitely, I think, worth trying something else. So I'll give you guys, just look at this. Look at the amount of comments that I have on my channel from people who just no longer play WoW. You'll see now the amount of comments that come out from people who don't play WoW anymore, who couldn't care. They just follow the channel for lore, and some people even stop following the channel for lore. Totally agree with that. Duval can become a true new big bad after all the others left the field now. I agree with that. As to what I play, I have been playing as my main MMO Guild Wars 2 for the past 3 years now, and I'm loving it. All the things Balila said, I have playing them and enjoy them there for too long. And I am playing just for the fun of it. I am currently going to start some Final Fantasy XIV with some friends to try the free gameplay for a while. First comment. No longer playing WoW, right? Valoron. I still don't get why Garrosh went to Revendreth. No one does. If Vash's victories were enough to offset her wrongdoings and land her in Maldraxxus, why would that rule not apply to Garrosh? He had more victories than anyone. I don't know. Quite frankly, the way they place beings within the Shadowlands seems to be very random, because there are a ton of beings where you look at that being and you think to yourself, I don't think that being belongs where they are. So your guess is as good as mine. Luna Bally, Luna Bell? I'm not sure. Thank you for the follow. Really appreciate that. Welcome to the channel. Steampunk. I am still playing, loving Hallow's End at the moment. Hallow's End, I'm assuming. Love the content, Akko, as always. Also, I think that bird is in all your outside videos. The bird really is. It's the same bird all the time. Shamanita, how you doing? I agree a lot with Balila, but I think his ideas are too ambitious for the current iteration of the WoW team that we have, and for the time frame they'll need to release 9.2. They're all great, but I do agree with your points where you disagree, especially introducing the Mortis Place so suddenly is kind of the problem with Zuval and the Shadowlands, not enough build-up to care about it. And for your question, haven't played since the very beginning of BFA, and have been playing Final Fantasy since 2017. Another comment of someone no longer playing World of Warcraft, right? Reason why I think Shadowlands was a bad idea is because there's a lot of characters that should be in Shadowlands, but we haven't seen them. Like, where is Orgrim Doomhammer? It's not just characters that isn't there that should have been there. All round, I think people are just struggling to care about Shadowlands. Not just as I'm talking about as a lore place, as a place that you go to. I think people are struggling to find a reason to give a fuck. And that's all on the developers. Merikos, how you doing? Life is good. Thank you very much for asking. Andrew Young, I don't play WoW. I cleared the first raid and left the expansion. Played on and off since BC. 300 plus days played. I tried Final Fantasy. I like it, but something isn't right for me to no life it. Currently playing a bit of New World, but not really playing it like an MMO. To be fair, this is how you should be playing games. You should technically never be no-lifing a single game. It's sad that World of Warcraft has sort of trained people to no-life a single video game and never play anything else. These mono gamers is bad for the gaming industry. You should be playing multiple games. It should be fine if you have fun in Final Fantasy, but then also play some Guild Wars 2 and also play some ESO and maybe also play a couple of single-player games. There's nothing wrong with that. It's fine if you're playing multiple games. Games, at the end of the day, is supposed to be fun. So, but again, another comment from someone who watches the videos but no longer plays the game. Now, here's the fun thing. How long do you think someone who no longer plays the game will keep watching the content on average? I'm not talking about people who genuinely, say, for example, give much fucks about the lore, and therefore, you know, they will always watch the lore videos. I don't know Final Fantasy these days. Maybe I do the same, but I go through dips, right? So I'll no-life Final Fantasy for a couple of weeks or months, and then I'll get a new game that I no-life for a couple of... Like, I go from game to game. I get bored quite quickly, so I need to switch it up every once in a while. You never achieve much. If one plays multiple MMOs, they are all grindy. Velastris, the truth is, you shouldn't need to achieve much, right? That's the point, really, of video games. Not everyone is a hardcore raider, for example. And with games like Final Fantasy, they make it actually very easy for you to switch and go play something else when you're in the mood to play something else. That's hard for me to accept since I'm a lore nerd, except the fact that most WoW players don't care about it right now because of the bad storytelling. I don't like the direction the lore is going, but I'm never not going to stop following and keeping up with it. Guess that's why I'm a nerd and not like the average WoW player who doesn't invest that much time into it as me. Chance, true. Very, very true. Super Snoot Booper, how you doing? Love that name. Fuck my life. I've given up on the lore during Shadowlands, but it started to disappoint me during BFA when they botched the N'Zoth stuff. I see so many comments exactly like that. That's why we're going through the comment section here. So many comments exactly the same. People who've sort of given up. Carpe Diem, how you doing? Depends how quickly they find another game that has more appealing content. But you know, I think the point I was trying to make with that, right, is that everyone eventually will move on. When people no longer play the game, very few people are going to stick around for long watching your content. It's why we're seeing sub numbers drop every single time I upload a video, because, you know, every time I upload a video, there's more people going, no, I'm over this content. I no longer care. I refuse to play World of Warcraft now, and I am not a game writer programmer, so I won't be arrogant and say how easy it is to produce games. However, there has been ideas I have had in my mind that has been much better than what Blizzard has produced, and to me, that's sad. Nados bloody deserved his own fucking expansion. A powerful entity such as that to be killed off so easily at the end of Battle for Azeroth is pathetic. That's Scottish. That's a long comment. I'm not going to go through the whole comment, but I agree with everything you said. N'Zoth was handled very poorly. All right, Pristavu Carlin says, we could have done without that weird outro about the game's survival, to be honest. It kind of gets repetitive and boring hearing this over and over and over from you. Hearing fucking what over and over and over from me? Pristavu? No. The reason this pisses you off, the reason you get upset about this is because you don't want to hear anything negative about your game. It's not that you hear this over and over from me, because you fucking don't. On my main channel, I never bash World of Warcraft. On my main channel, I cover the lore and nothing else. I make no negative videos about World of Warcraft, so I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. I play Call of Duty for the most part now, until something like 9.2 to 10.0. Yeah, on Twitch I can be as negative as I fucking want. If people don't want me being negative, don't come watch Twitch. It's as simple as that. On Twitch, you get my thoughts, uncensored and unfiltered. I say whatever the fuck I feel. Have you done it? I haven't, Elodie, not yet. Velastris, the problem with Pristavo's point is the entire video is actually positive. In the entire video, I don't bash WoW once. I give WoW, I literally respond to Balilar's video, and I say where I disagree with Balilar on his ideas, right? So not once do I bash WoW. And I also don't even bash WoW in the ending. What I ask at the end is, where's the line? What's going to happen? This is literally what I asked at the end. I said, okay, if 9.2 isn't good, will 10.0 bring people back? Or will 9.2 be the final straw? If 9.2 sucks, will people not come back for 10.0? I don't see how anything about that is negative. It is a question that I'm asking about a very relevant topic. One that I think people should be asking more, right? We should be asking ourselves, what happens if 9.2 sucks? Will people still trust WoW enough to come back in 10.0 if they log into 9.2 and realize, wow, what a bad fucking patch? Because I think at that point, you've probably lost a ton of people. I think at that point, you've probably lost a lot of people. It's a question that I was asking. I wasn't actually, I wasn't making any negative points. I wasn't bashing on WoW one bit. I was asking a question. I don't see how you could do without that. It was a relevant question considering the topic of the video. Stone Rejects, how you doing? Thank you for the first time chat. Really appreciate that. Welcome to the channel, brother. Technically, and I'm saying that as a Sylvanas hater, is Princess Blue Eyes not longer that same being responsible for the genocide? Technically, Emerald, that is true, but I don't care about the technical aspects of that. Sylvanas' character right now is just nuclear. I don't think Blizzard should touch Sylvanas. I'm playing World of Warcraft a little still, having a break from it, but I have tried Final Fantasy like most others, and am enjoying it for a change of pace. If when WoW looks good again, I'll come back full time. Another comment of someone either taking a break or leaving the game. Can you guys start to see why I think covering other content could be a good idea? Or at least covering other content alongside World of Warcraft could be a good idea. Just based on the few comments that we've gone through here, right? Seiji, how you doing? Or Charlotte, how you doing? Will you buy Christy Golden's book on Sylvanas after bitching on her yesterday? Yeah, of course. It's a fucking book about Sylvanas. I can bitch about someone. Look, I am very good at separating my feelings about the artist and the art. Why wouldn't I? There are plenty of artworks that I love where I hate the fucking artist. H.P. Lovecraft. I've literally owned every single book H.P. Lovecraft have ever written. I disagree with H.P. Lovecraft on literally every single opinion he has. The dude believed that black people were animals, and the guy believed that gay people should be killed, right? He was a fucking horrible human being, but his work, like his universe, was incredible, right? He built an incredible universe. So you kind of... And by the way, if you want to cancel him, you have to cancel like almost every video game on the market that is an RPG. Because every single video game on the market borrows quite heavily from the H.P. Lovecraft universe. Because he built an incredible universe. So you separate the two, right? You say, fuck that guy. Don't mind his work, right? His work is good, but fuck the guy. So you kind of have to separate the art from the artist sometimes, right? You don't have a choice. Especially with most artists having fucking weird views. I can't wait till you catch up on the FF story so I can see your FF speculation. King Julian, how you doing? I have heard King Julian, which is a moron, but I like a lot of his music. Exactly. You separate the art from the artist. Yeah. That's just how you have to do it. So no, I will absolutely buy Christy Golden's Sylvanas book. It's a book about Sylvanas. Why wouldn't I do it? I can't argue with what you're saying, Akko. The dates prove you're right in that diversifying your content would be a good thing, but I'm admittedly selfish.
Culture is so stupid. If you eat a pizza and the cook in that restaurant turns out to be a pedophile, do you need to vomit the pizza out? It's just ridiculous.
True. I agree with you, Zig6. But I'm definitely selfish and only care about WoW-related content for the most part. Can't lie. So the thought of you doing lore for other games frightens me. Chance, I won't be doing lore for other games. I will be doing first impressions. I will be doing updates on how I'm enjoying the game, whether the game feels, fun. But I will almost definitely not be doing lore for other games. There is almost zero chance of me ever starting to speculate on another universe, and that comes down to just knowing the universe, right? I know the World of Warcraft universe like it's my own child, right? I may as well have written the story with how well I know it. And that makes it easy for me to speculate on it because I've grown up in this universe. I know the universe. Whereas if it comes to other games with Final Fantasy, I don't know shit about the Final Fantasy universe, so I don't want to speculate on it because that would be disrespectful to the people who actually love the Final Fantasy lore and universe. Yeah, it would be disrespectful to them because I'm a newbie. I don't have the right to speculate on their game. So it would take at least another year or so before I would probably feel even remotely confident enough to speculate in Final Fantasy, and maybe even then I wouldn't. So you don't have to worry about that. That's not going to happen. I feel like I care more about Denathrius than Zuvul. It seems to me that in the one patch we actually dealt with him, we had so much more substance and presence. I love to have a fight with him. Agree. I'm playing Guild Wars 2 now and having a blast. Might look at WoW again when they add some actual content, but maybe not because Guild Wars 2 is just so good. Another comment where they're no longer playing WoW. I played New World for 30 plus hours and I still can't name one NPC character in the game, and that speaks a lot about a game. I stopped playing it for about 2 weeks now and probably won't go back anytime soon. Yeah, well, this is on my New World. Yeah. People are overselling New World, and I think most people are going to realize that it isn't as good as you might think. Okay, what do you think Blizzard are doing with the lore in regards in what's coming in 9.2? King Julian, I don't know. I genuinely have no idea what Blizzard's plans are for 9.2. I wish I could answer that for you, but right now the game seems to be in such a messy state that I can't even begin to imagine what they would try to do with the game moving forward. Won't happen in 9.2. Could it happen in 10.0 though? Especially if they had plans somewhat close to what he said. I still play, but not as much as I used to. I just think they need to fix WoW token to be either cash or gold and not exchangeable. Boosting has made PvP a lot less fun. You are just constantly going against a carry boost team. Great Thoughts, brother. Stopped playing since 9.1. The story I love seems to be falling to pieces. Been playing Dragon Age Inquisition, great game. Age of Empires 2, great game. Age of Mythology, great game. And the Resident Evil Saga, good games, but too scary for me to play. Prawns, how you doing, bro? Well, since BFA, but I'm wondering if they explained how undead souls come back in the Shadowlands expansion. Not really an explanation for that, but we already know that it has to do with necromancy, right? So the way it works is the soul literally gets ripped out of the Shadowlands and attached to the body, the corpse of the individual. So we know that it's through necromancy. But this has been explained sort of longer ago, I suppose. Hold my shield. Comrade, thank you for T1 sub. Really appreciate that. 7 months in a row. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I love the birds. It's okay. The birds are loud, dude. I couldn't agree more. They botched Sylvanas and alienated the fuck out of the players. The way Denuser set up the story is that he made it so the only logical next step is to just kill off such an iconic fan favorite. Even though everyone's just fed up with Sylvanas, I just wish the War of Thorns never happened. Like, maybe they don't even need to put her away for a few expansions. The War of Thorns did happen. That's the sad part. It did happen. I was never a big WoW player. I popped in for a few months every now and then when something in an expansion seemed interesting. I probably played the most during Legion. My main MMO since early 2016 has consistently been SWATer. That's what I like to grind and raid in, and Final Fantasy as a secondary MMO in mid-2019, mostly for the story. So I think... I don't think we have to continue going with comments, but if there's one thing that's standing out from these comments, because believe me, all the way back down. Next comment here from Stephen Campbell. Quit WoW back in March. Play ESO. Don't feel like I need to force myself to enjoy it. Every single comment on my videos now, right? Every single comment on my videos now is either someone upset about WoW or someone who has already quit WoW. And the only time... like, every once in a while, there'll be a comment of someone still loving the game. Out of all of these comments, the majority of them are people no longer happy with the game, no longer playing the game. So do you understand why I think it is time for a switch up? Why it's time to start covering things like Final Fantasy, Star Wars The Old Republic, even Guild Wars 2, ESO, Lord of the Rings even, if that pops up. I just think it is time for a change. I think people are hungry for something new, something different, something that isn't WoW. And maybe put WoW on the back burner until we get new lore, you know? Oh, Machendo, the music comes from Pretzel Rocks. And it is their, I think, metal list. So if you want the music, it's literally download the app Pretzel Rocks. And the reason I use this is it's all DMCA free, right? And they have a YouTube safe mode. You can see there, YouTube safe mode, which basically just, you know, it allows for these videos to be put on YouTube fine. Or republish box. Well, that's just true, but I don't want to speculate, right? So the kind of videos that I'll be covering is things like first impressions, ideas. So for example, the videos that I have for Final Fantasy now is my first impressions on leveling from level 1 to level 50. Then I have another video discussing sort of level 50 patch content 2.1 all the way up to finishing with the Garlemald and Empire threat. And then sort of going to make a video on the remaining up until the end of the patch content leading into Heavensward. And then I'll do a video again at the end of the Heavensward questing experience discussing what that experience was like, what I found different from the original ARR experience and what was good, what wasn't. Getting into Heavensward patch content, making videos on the patch content there, the raids, the dungeons, you know, the story, so to speak. But it's not going to be speculation. Speculation is a World of Warcraft only game for me, so I will be playing. I'll be playing World of Warcraft, or I'll be speculating on WoW still, but I'll be throwing in some other types of content on the side. Saying earlier, if a game is so good it makes you no life it, there is something there. Seven Raven, that is true. And Isaac, I remember that. I used to be one of those. Like I told you guys before, back in TBC, Wrath, and Cataclysm, I used to play World of Warcraft 16, 18 hours a day. I would play the game. It's funny that before they started caring about engagement, my engagement with WoW was a hell of a lot higher than what it is today. When they started caring about engagement, my engagement actually went down. Wait, what did Carlos say? Perpetrator? Turn around. Look, I don't think World of Warcraft is... I don't think World of Warcraft is beyond saving. To be clear. I don't think it's beyond saving. I do believe that it's going to take a lot of effort to save WoW. I think that it's going to take someone that does what Yoshi P did. Because I don't think it's over-exaggeration to say that World of Warcraft's current state is very similar to Final Fantasy XIV 1.0, right? Where the majority of your players are absolutely hating the game, that most people who play the game play it because they don't interact with all of your new fucking content, right? Because yes, the people that still play the game are people who play old stuff, right? They go back and do MOP, and they go back and they play in Cataclysm. They're collecting mounts and pets, and some people are RPing, right? They're no longer really interacting with the main content of the game. And WoW's staple, the thing that kept WoW going, used to be raiding and Mythic Plus, and now you even have raiders and Mythic Plus players quitting the game. Is her name Nagura? I think Nagura, something like that. She just announced. She used to be so fucking into Mythic Plus. She presented the Mythic Plus Invitational, right? She used to be a hardcore raider. She just announced that her guild has fallen apart. Most people have left, and she doesn't want to keep playing WoW right now. So she's left WoW as well. Breach used to be a very hardcore raider, right? And he's given up. So at the end of the day, people are moving on. People are going, even the hardcore raiders are saying, we've had enough. We no longer want to play this, right? And that's when you know the game is bad, right? That's when you know the game is bad. When even the players who the game was built for, because let's be real, for the last few expansions, World of Warcraft have been built purely for hardcore raiders. It's really no longer being built for the casual audience. And when the people that you actually built the game for decides they're done, they no longer want to play, you have a problem. So World of Warcraft will require a lot of work, right? It's going to require a lot of effort, and the question is who in the WoW team has that drive, right? Who in the WoW team has that drive necessary to say, right, let's take this step by step by step. Let's highlight everything that is wrong with the game, and let's come up with ways of fixing that, yeah? Can it be Ian? Maybe. Maybe Ian, given the freedom, could do that, yeah? Maybe it's someone else. Maybe Blizzard needs a new producer that actually is willing to put that in and actually put that effort in, because it's going to require effort. You're going to have to look at the game from level 1 and basically redesign the game from the ground up. That could take time. I don't think WoW is beyond saving, and I actually think Blizzard could bring out a decent expansion in 10.0. I think 10.0 could be decent. Will 10.0 be great? Probably not, because 10.0 will not fix the original problems with the game, right? And we've discussed this before. We've spoken about this. As a new player, your experience with World of Warcraft is absolutely abysmal. It is a miserable new player experience. So even if 10.0 is amazing, it's not going to fix the problems with previous expansions and how to bring the previous expansions back. But 10.0 could be good. Good enough to hold Blizzard over until they can actually go back and fix the entire new player experience. But I actually believe that Blizzard should change a lot of things, right? I would love to see a change in the way they handle patches, because I think patches are completely wrong right now. The fact that almost every 0.5 patch is completely and utterly useless is just, it's unforgivable. What we require is the same as what Final Fantasy does. In Final Fantasy, your 0.1 patches, so your big patches, these are patches that introduce new raids, new hardcore content. Your 0.5 patches generally introduce casual content, but all patches always introduces actual content. There's never a patch that doesn't introduce content. Patches are there for content, and they do that. And sure, you can link the video to me either on link it to me on Discord, or you can do it here on Twitch. Lil Moonswag, thank you for 2 months up, 2 months in a row. Thank you. Where do you think Anduin will end up at the end of the SL next expansion? Lil Moonswag, I've discussed this in videos before. I discussed it this Sunday in the Shill Show. I don't know where he will end up, but I know where I want him to end up, right? I want a story that involves Anduin going slightly bad for a while before returning and finally becoming the king that he's supposed to be, right? That's what I would want for him. Seven, I'm not entirely sure why you're talking about gameplay, because I myself have said this before. When it comes to gameplay, World of Warcraft is the king. World of Warcraft's gameplay is even better than single-player games. You know, World of Warcraft has some of the best gameplay you could ever get. That does not change the fact that everything else in WoW doesn't live up to the hype. And to fix that, like I said, like we just discussed, it's going to require someone with the will to go back and fix it. I don't know who that is. I don't know if there's someone like that at Blizzard that is willing to fix the game. Dave, but that's just me. I hate that prick. Why? No. Anduin should definitely not die. Anduin should definitely not die. Eleanor, where did you link the video? Alright, let's see this. That is a fucking long video, though. That is a long video. 20 minutes. Alright. Alright, I'm nothing if not willing to react.
I think where Blizzard messed up in Shadowlands is to give players what they wanted, and turns out they shouldn't have listened. Here is the logic, okay? Listen to this. What I pointed out a few days ago was the question as to why Shadowlands, despite being very close and very similar to the type of content that has been released in BFA and in Legion, it feels so much worse in the eyes of the community.
BFA was just as bad. BFA was just as bad as Shadowlands. The reason it feels so much worse is because it didn't come off a good expansion. It came off of a shit expansion, and it was just the same shit. So, alright, I'll give him another chance. Make your point.
even if you remove all of the bad PR, which has been compounding on giving Shadowlands a bad look, from the lawsuits to the competing other games like Final Fantasy, where many content.
King Julian, why do you think I'm trying to change your mind? If anything, you are trying to change my mind. I have never tried to change anyone's mind. I have never said that me not liking WoW means you shouldn't like WoW either. In fact, chat, what have I said literally every single time we talk about World of Warcraft? Literally every single fucking time. What have I said? Gaming is subjective, and you can like it. Not my problem. I don't judge people for liking a fucking game. Every single fucking time. I'm not trying to change your mind, bro. You can like whatever the fuck you want. There's people that love being pissed on as a kink. People like different things. I would throw the fuck up if someone pissed on me. It's not a popular kink, but it is a kink that some people fucking like. Everyone can like whatever the fuck they want. I don't judge people for that. I don't care. You still love raiding? Okay, fine. I don't give a fuck. My brother loves playing League of Legends. I don't. I don't judge my brother for playing League of Legends. He can like it if he wants. So I'm not entirely sure what point you're trying to make here, bro. I don't know what point you're trying to make.
Creators are currently not even bothering.
King Julian, thank you very much, 2 months up. Really appreciate that, bro. 23 months in a row. I see you and I are we gonna do this for another 2 years? King Julian? You and I disagreeing on literally fucking everything? Or are you gonna come around to my way of thinking eventually? Because we've been doing this for 23 months now. 23 fucking months. Chat, I'm not lying. Ever since King Julian joined this chat, me and him have been disagreeing on almost fucking everything that I have to say. Like, it doesn't matter what I say. Myself and King Julian have been disagreeing on it. And it's been 23 months, so almost fucking 2 years now, that me and Mr. King Julian have been fighting. I do appreciate the sub, dude. Thank you. Oh, I have many, Super Snoot. I have many viewers that don't agree with shit. And we'll fight sometimes. We'll have disagreements. But I hope that most of my viewers know that it doesn't come from a place of malicious, right? I'm not trying to... it doesn't come from a bad place. Like, when I call you out or when I tell you what the fuck are you talking about or anything like that, it's not coming from a place where I'm trying to belittle you or trying to attack you. It's genuinely just a conversation. So I hope that most people know, things are... I just say whatever the fuck I think. And I encourage my chat to say the exact same thing, right? Say what's on your mind. Say what you believe. Don't worry about my feelings or the feelings of anyone else in chat. Speak your mind, right? Speak your mind. If you do go too far, I'll fucking tell you, right? But for the most part, I want people that's willing to speak their mind. Channel, do you upload full show or do you? Oh, well, Moonswag, I'll make the show public in a bit.
To play with WoW because of the little following it has, creating an even worse sort of atmosphere around the game, as well as the delays, whether or not they were caused by the COVID pandemic or not. The patches have been delayed by a lot, so there is this entire thing compounding on top of Shadowlands, which is making it feel worse. Even if you exclude all of that, we could make a poll. We could ask some statements from the witnesses who have played the game, at least since Legion, and we would be able to hear the responses, and very likely people would have said that Legion was the better expansion, BFA was sort of in the middle, some good things, some bad things.
No! If Shadowlands didn't have the content route, Shadowlands would have been a million times better than fucking BFA. if you put BFA and Shadowlands next to each other, BFA is dog shit, right? Shadowlands is like horse shit. You could at least use Shadowlands on your roses, right? Whereas BFA was dog shit. You wouldn't use that ever. So no, you're wrong. Like what kind of fucking statement is that? BFA was shit. Shadowlands is shit. Started because the story was crap, but the game was actually quite fun. I enjoyed Shadowlands when it first came out. The problem is I had to enjoy Shadowlands when it first came out for 9 fucking months. And then when they finally did bring new content, they gave me the Taint of Secrets. They promised the City of Secrets. I got the fucking Taint of Secrets. Now, of course, they could explain that with lore, just by saying that the Titans have different words that have different meanings, and actually their word for city is the same as the word for taint, and that would make a fucking difference. But, to be clear, the reason Shadowlands shits the bed isn't because it was a bad expansion at the beginning. It had bad ideas, and the bad ideas really dragged it down. But the 9-month content drought didn't do anything to help that. It just gave people more time to realize how shit the systems are. But in every fucking measurable way, BFA is worse, far worse than Shadowlands.
And then Shadowlands was the worst one of these 3. These have been the post-Warlords expansions, where Blizzard created this new cast, this new mold in how to develop the expansions, the expansion cycles, the way in which they wanted to develop patches and content throughout the expansion, etc., etc. They have been very, very close in how they have been developed. Yet, Shadowlands seems to be so much worse than the previous 2 expansions, which gets you thinking. It gets you thinking because when you look at Shadowlands and you compare it to the previous expansions and you look at what you can do in the game, so if you count doing Mythic Plus, and then doing the raid, and then doing world quests, and then having a class hall, or a garrison, or a campaign mission, which expands and continues throughout the expansion, and even having the same mission table with followers, etc., etc. All these mechanics, all these systems have been in place since Legion. They have been available in the last 3 expansions in a very similar way, near identical. That's the same cast that Blizzard has used.
No. Again, different. So different. Fuck my life, so different. Wow, it's insane when you start making points and then lying about the fucking points to make the points. Okay, I hate to do this, especially to a smaller content creator, because I do think that this guy has some decent thoughts, but let's fucking talk about this. In Legion, the system that you had, that you refer to as the same fucking system, isn't the same fucking system. Because in Legion, the artifact weapon system slotted into everything in the game. It didn't matter what you did. It didn't matter how you wanted to level your artifact weapon. You could do it whichever way you fucking wanted. So, for example, I wanted to do dungeons. I didn't, but someone wanted to do dungeons in order to level their artifact weapon. They could do dungeons to level their artifact weapon. I basically leveled my entire artifact weapon on every single character that I had through raids. I didn't really spam Mythic Plus. I didn't have to. I could just do the raids and bam, I would have my artifact weapon leveled. The game basically gave me a system that leveled up through whichever way I wanted to level it up as. I wasn't in any way, shape, or form forced into anything. With BFA, the Azerite armor system forced me into island expeditions at the first, for the first 2 patches, because that was the way to level your fucking, that was the way to level your Heart of Azeroth, right? If you didn't do it through island expeditions, you were doing it wrong, because everything else basically gave 0 fucking Azerite. So no. And Shadowlands takes that even fucking further, where you have to do Torghast for legendaries in order to fucking raid. The raids give 0 currency for legendaries. Only Torghast gives currency for legendaries. Then you have to do the more in order to get fucking currency. You have to do your covenant shit in order to level your covenant so that you can actually get soul binds. Nothing else gives you XP with your soul binds. It's only the stuff that you do for your covenant. So no, the game became more fractured, and that's why Shadowlands is an absolute pile of shite. Still better than fucking BFA, but a pile of shite nonetheless. That's why. It's because the systems are completely and utterly unrelated to one another. But it has fuck all to do with the fact that they're the same. They're not the fucking same.
To make all 3 of these expansions. If I told you, hey, log into the game, do a handful of world quests for your emissaries, do some campaign quests for your campaign story, do 2 or 3 Mythic Plus keys, and then do a raid. I could have been talking about Legion, I could have been talking about BF.
No, you couldn't have been talking about Legion. You couldn't have been talking. What the fuck? Arnold, thank you for the tier 2 sub, dude. Really appreciate it. 18 months in a row. Thank you, thank you. You couldn't, because I played Legion. I raided at Mythic fucking level. I raided Mythic, hardcore Mythic raider during Legion. I stopped raiding literally on fucking Argus Mythic. I pulled Argus a couple of times, and then I just told my guild I'm done. I'm no longer fucking playing, right? I'm no longer playing. I played the whole of Legion. You want to know how I played Legion? Can I give you guys some insight into how I played Legion? I raided. That was it. I did nothing else. I would log in, and I would raid. When I wasn't raiding on my main, I was raiding on an alt. I just raided. I didn't log in to do Mythic Plus. Fuck Mythic Plus. I didn't log in to do World Quests. Fuck World Quests. I logged in and I raided. I got every single thing that I needed through raiding. So, no. When you say that I have to log in and do a couple of quests for my emissary and then do a couple of Mythic Plus, you are only talking about BFA and Shadowlands. You are not talking about Legion.
Fae, or I could have been talking about Shadowlands, and you had no way to distinguish the 3. So how is it that Shadowlands is being received so much worse than BFA and then Legion? That. Which is back to the first thing I said at the start of this video. I think in Shadowlands, Blizzard has been very honest in how they wanted to change some of the mechanics, some of the systems in the game, which ended up backfiring horribly. Because in Legion and BFA, Blizzard was able to develop essentially emotional blackmail. Blizzard was able to develop systems which manipulated players to stay in the game for longer and to give them a feeling that outside of the things you would have done anyways, like Mythic Plus, like raids, like PvP, you wanted to stay in the game.
How is that different to what Shadowlands is doing? I don't follow the difference here. How is that different?
Those were systems that people had been complaining a lot about. Those were systems that were considered bad by the community. And Blizzard, rightfully so, eventually decided to get rid of all of them at once.
When? I would have played this guy Shadowlands. Fuck, he's playing a different game. Is there 2 versions of Shadowlands? Like, do Friends of Blizzard get a better fucking game than the rest of us? Because I want to play this guy Shadowlands. He's playing a completely different one. In his Shadowlands, there's no systems that force you to do anything. There's nothing that keeps you in the game for any reason whatsoever. What fucking game are you playing, brother?
In Shadowlands. The problem that this caused is that players no longer had any blackmail against them to keep them in the game. Players no longer felt manipulated.
What about Torghast? What about the Covenants? What about the Soulbinds? What about the Mythic Plus system? What about the rating system? What about the fucking Vault? The Vault. Okay, so apart from all of those systems, he's correct. Apart from all of those fucking things I just mentioned, he's right. There's nothing that keeps you in the fucking game whatsoever. Apart from those systems, of course, that I already mentioned. Korthia fucking research grind. But okay, fine.
Let's go. Enough to spend time in the game, and suddenly they realized the content was lacking. What exactly am I talking about?
Yeah.
Well, for starters, Artifact Power, Azerite Power, and Anima Power. In the previous 2 expansions, you felt compelled, you felt forced, you felt required to spend time in the game to collect Artifact Power or to collect Azerite Power because they were extremely tightly linked to character power. You wanted your Artifact Power because you had to level up your weapons. You wanted to unlock your mini talent tree inside your weapon.
Again, he is basically playing down the issue in order to make his point, which is incredibly dishonest. Now, I don't know if he's doing this to be dishonest. That I can't know, right? It might just be that he hasn't thought this through. Now, I will say, when I was his size, I had a couple of hot takes that were absolutely incredibly bad. So, you know, I don't judge the guy. When you're a young content creator, you oftentimes put out videos that you do not think about. So I don't want any hate towards this guy. Let me fucking go after him because he has the right to respond to me. But don't all of you now pile on to this guy. I don't think that's okay. Here's what I will say, right? He's basically ignoring the differences, right? Yes, Azerite armor or Azerite meant a lot, yeah? But you cannot make the argument that Artifact Power was similar to Azerite. Because they weren't the same. They were not the same. Not even fucking close to the same. They functioned completely differently. That's like saying, well, you know, oil and water is basically the same because they're both fluids. Yeah, no. You can drink one, you can't drink the fucking other. What are you talking about? Yes, they're both fluids, but they're clearly not the fucking same thing, right? So it's stupid to me to even go about saying that, to even go about sort of trying to compare the systems, because yes, they did the same thing, right? They achieved the same thing. They built your power, but how you got the thing is really what created the problem.
Even when you wanted to reroll to a different spec, you still had to spend Artifact Power to bring that spec's weapon up. Of course, the entire system had other good feedback about it. For example, the artifact weapons having tons of different collectible appearances, keeping you in the game. That was a very nice positive. But the main...
Also, he's ignoring what you got out of your grind. With Legion, your grind, which was completely choice-based, you could choose where you wanted to grind. But with Legion, when you finally did your grind, what you got out of it was actually really cool traits that actually impacted the way you played the game, which was a lot of fun, right? Grinds are not inherently bad. The problem with BFA and with Shadowlands is that the grind gives you absolutely fuck all. Who's excited whenever they unlock a new Soulbind? I should put my hand down, because that's not me. The Soulbind system is... It feels like it was literally thrown together by a fucking intern. The guy woke up one day, walked into the office, and someone said, hey, you need to design a bunch of shit. And he was like, for what game? No, don't worry about the game, just design a bunch of crap. Just make the players feel like they're getting crap. That's it. And that's what he did. He designed a bunch of crap. It does nothing. It doesn't really change your playstyle. It feels fucking weird and useless. You get extra mats whenever you kill things. Oh, wow. That's game breaking. I feel so much stronger now that I'm getting 5% extra chance for mats. Feels good. Or I get to run faster whenever I kill a mob. Phew. This is exactly what I was looking for in a system that I have to grind for. At least with Legion, when you got a new trait, that trait would have some kind of impact. When you got to unlock a new golden trait, that trait would have a massive impact. I'm not saying that the system was perfect, because it fucking wasn't, but at least the system had certain things that made you excited. Whereas with BFA and with Shadowlands, the things that you would unlock are just horrible. They're just bad.
reason, the main pull was the fact that you needed to grind artifact power. That was the thing. It's the reason why people went, for example, to endlessly farm the fastest Mythic Plus dungeons back in Legion, because Mythic...
The only people who farmed the fastest dungeons were hardcore world first raiders. No one else did that. And I don't have a problem with that. Hardcore world first raiders will always engage in toxic gameplay for that edge. It's what they're designed to do. It's what they do. So you're never going to be able to solve that. No matter what you do, a hardcore player is always going to find some kind of toxic thing that you have to do. I leveled all of my fucking shit, all of my artifacts, just by raiding, and I wasn't really behind anyone else in my guild. Even the people that hardcore spammed, I was like a week behind the rest of them. Like, they got to max level on their artifact weapons, and a week later I got to max level on my artifact weapons. I didn't miss out. I didn't lose out. It was fairly fine. Nothing wrong with that. So again, it comes down to it comes down to choice. You had choices, at least in Legion, whereas in BFA and Shadowlands you had zero choice. The game basically decided on your behalf what is important, what isn't. I'm still not entirely sure, because his original premise, let's not forget, his original premise is that Shadowlands sucks because Blizzard listened to the player base. He's still, and we're 5 minutes into the video, I am still waiting for him to finally explain how that is a thing.
Plus gave artifact power, so people wanted to grind dungeons like Maw of Souls to acquire as much AP as possible. It's why every day, for months and months and months into the expansions, people still went around doing world quests, because they gave artifact power. The same can be said for BFA. BFA had Azerite power, but in terms of character power, it was the same. Blizzard developed...
And people complained about it even then. This is what this guy don't seem to understand. People complained about the Azerite grind when the Azerite grind was happening. People complained about the artifact power grind when the artifact power grind was happening. So I don't know what point he's trying to make. Because people weren't okay with those things. It wasn't as if people went, oh my god, this is the best thing ever, right? People were complaining about it. Does he forget the controversies around the legendaries in Legion and how shit the legendary system was in Legion?
Develops Azerite armor. Azerite armor has rings that you have to unlock based on the level of your Azerite necklace, which means, again, you have to spend time going around, doing world quests, completing emissaries because you want the AP. Then we go into Shadowlands and Blizzard says, guys, we listened. Guys, we knew you did not really like all of this continuous, endless grind of this currency, of this player power currency, so we are going to get rid of it. Initially, people were very skeptical.
I want to play this guy's version of Shadowlands. If anything, they added more grind. They added more. What the fuck are you talking about? Like, where did they remove the grind? What game are you playing, bro?
People were memeing on the fact that Blizzard, after artifact power into Azerite power, they came up with anima power, and it would have totally been just like the two previous systems, but eventually they saw the evidence. Anima power was a system that had nothing to do with character power. So if you didn't care about it, if you didn't want to do it, you did not have that emotional blackmail, that manipulative system that pushed you to chase this new currency.
You need anima in order to unlock renown. You need anima in order to unlock renown. You need to do your covenant shit in order to unlock renown. Renown is quite literally tied to player power. So, what? Anima may not be as heavily tied to player power as Azerite or artifact power, but it's still tied to player power. You still need anima in order to get renown. So I'm not entirely sure what this guy is talking about. I'm genuinely, it baffles me. Plus, basically what he's ignoring is he's saying that the only thing that can be considered a grind in a video game is when you're grinding for a specific resource, and the resource must be something that starts with an A, right? If it doesn't start with an A, it's not a grind. What about the Torghast grind in order to get your Soul Ash? I know it starts with an S, and that doesn't really fit your examples, but, you know, what about the Soul Ash grind? What about the grind for your Vault? What about the Mythic Plus grinding? There's still grinds. Sure, those grinds aren't just tied to Anima, but that makes it worse, because where in the past, at least with BFA and with Shadowlands and with Legion, you only ever had to grind for one resource. In Shadowlands, you are grinding now for multiple resources. All sorts of different resources fractured into their own little ways of actually being able to achieve them. So I'm still not entirely sure how Blizzard listened to us, because we all asked for less grind and more freedom. Blizzard gave us more grind and less freedom. So how did Blizzard listen to us? How is this the player's fault?
Just because you wanted to power up your character. The problem that this caused is the fact that now, what is your incentive in doing world quests? Ask yourself this: when's the last time you went in Shadowlands through the 4 different regions to hunt for some AP? When's the last time you logged in, you opened the map, you clicked on all of the AP quests in the game, and then with your world quest tracker, you went around and got all of that AP for you? That's right, you don't do this. That's the problem.
You do Torghast instead, and you spam your Covenant shit so that you can actually unlock your Renown, and you do Korthia so that you can unlock your Korthia research, and you have to spam to get your Domination shards. So yeah, the grind has been replaced by multiple fucking grinds.
You don't do this because it doesn't matter anymore. The problem with the fact that it doesn't matter anymore is that it doesn't keep you in the game.
This is like saying, I don't know why you guys are complaining. When is the last time that you've been when is the last time that you've been lit on fire as someone is throwing razor blades into your asshole? This is literally what it is. This guy is basically saying, I don't know why you guys are complaining. We are no longer lighting you on fire, as they're funneling razor blades into your asshole. Yeah, you're right. This is much better. What the fuck? What the fuck is this?
Yes, you might not have liked it. Yes, you might have gotten frustrated. Yes, it might have brought you to get burned out with the game faster. But then again, why do people see Legion and why do people see BFA more positively than they do Shadowlands? We just settled with the notion that these systems were not enjoyed by the community, yet people spent more time in the game because of these systems. Blizzard removed them because the community supposedly did not enjoy them, but this caused, as a result, the community to not find any other reason to spend more time in the game. This can be extended to other systems that Blizzard removed because they were not very well liked by the community. One example at the forefront is RNG. RNG is, of course, a cheap an easy way to get people into the game because you never know once you're getting your reward. You don't have deterministic rewards. Okay. You don't have a timetable that you can set on your calendar and know exactly when you can get your reward. So they get you to stay in the game to try to complete whichever activity it is to receive the rewards. And in previous expansions, we had the capital crime of this system, which is Titan Forging. Titan Forging was yet another manipulative system to get you to stay in the game.
I still don't fucking follow. I still don't follow this guy's argument, because even if I were to accept everything he's saying now, he is effectively he's blaming the player base for Shadowlands being shit, because he says Blizzard listened to us, the players. when none of the players asked for anything that is in Shadowlands. And before people go, well, we no longer have, because he's now making a point about Titan Forging and Warforging. Titan Forging and Warforging have literally just been replaced by the fucking Vault. You're still basically running your ass off, doing the same shit content over and over again, hoping for RNG in your Vault. So I'm not entirely sure. Like, yeah, sure, your individual pieces of gear no longer RNG to fuck, but it's still, like, you still have RNG, and RNG still basically forces you to play the game constantly.
Because now, suddenly, not only are you pushed in doing AP world quests, because they give you character power, you are even pushed to do item reward world quests, because you know that any one of those items that you're getting from those world quests can Titan forge into a mythic quality item. Again, this is another example, something the community was very vocal against, another example of something the community complained a lot about.
I actually wanted to cry when they finally announced that fucking Titan Forging, Warforging was removed. I wanted to cry.
That the community said was burning them out or was frustrating them because they felt like they need to do it, as it was a very easy way to get some massive character power if you were lucky. So Blizzard got rid of it in Shadowlands. But then what happened? What happened is, when's the last time you went in the open world to complete an item world quest? You see? That's right. After the first few weeks, now...
Yeah, but fuck! What you're talking about is reward-based game design, which is mobile gaming. Bro, stop making World of Warcraft videos. Just get yourself fucking mobile games and start covering them, because it seems like mobile games is right up your fucking alley. Because basically what you're talking about is reward-based game design. In other words, people will not partake in content if there isn't rewards. What the fuck are you talking about? If a game is fun, people will do it for fun. People will play the game because playing the game is actually fun. When you design a video game around rewards and people don't do it because the rewards suck, it means that your game sucks. That's what the fuck? If you want to know whether or not your game is good, remove all the rewards and see if people still do it. If people stop doing it, it means your game isn't fun. That is literally it. That is how it's supposed to be. The only thing that happened in Shadowlands, and he is actually half correct here. He's actually half correct. Shadowlands revealed to the majority of players that the game is fucking shit. You see, because the rewards were no longer good, and people suddenly realized, hold on, I'm not having fun. I don't actually look forward to the rewards that I'm getting. And I'm not actually having fun doing the things in order to get the rewards that I'm not looking forward to. So why the fuck am I doing this? If anything, Shadowlands revealed the failure that has been World of Warcraft for the last 7 or 8 years. So, yes, you are correct, but you're correct for the wrong fucking reasons. You're blaming the player base for exposing the shit design that is World of Warcraft. I'm sorry, that's not our fault. That's the fault of Blizzard.
Never. Unless you're playing on an alt, unless you're leveling up another character, those gear world quests have become useless. Whereas back in Legion and back in BFA, you had reasons well into the last tier of the expansion to continue doing those.
Because the rewards that was tied to the system, now that there's no longer good rewards, people have finally realized, oh, world quests are actually shit. World quests are actually fucking dog shit. Surprise, surprise.
Just because of Titan Forging, or the spin-off of Titan Forging, which was Corruption in the last tier of BFA. Another one of these treacherous and manipulative examples is Legendaries. Back in Legion, you had yet another incentive for completing content, even to the point that it was content you didn't even enjoy doing whatsoever, because of the chance, even just the chance of getting a legendary. So completing emissaries, doing the Wither training scenario, doing LFR, normal, heroic and mythic difficulty, all the raids of the expansion.
This guy is so all over the place, it's surreal. This guy is so all over the place. Like, he brings up all the right points and then links them to all the wrong conclusions. It's absolutely... This is a talent. This guy has a fucking talent for taking everything that you should mention and then linking it to the wrong fucking conclusion. Like, look, again, he keeps going about legendaries, right? And every single time, I think I know where he's getting to. I think I know where he's getting at. He's going to make all these points, and then he's going to go and say, the players wanted this removed, so really it's the players' fault that Shadowlands sucks. When in reality, what he should be saying is that now that it's been removed, we finally see how shit the game is.
There is one thing that I don't quite understand. Why do you think the vault is bad? I see you saying that people doing things not for fun but for the reward from the vault, but if you don't do Raid or Mythic Plus, why do you need the items from the vault? Because I feel high item level items are not needed if you don't trade or do Mythic Plus.
Zigzags, because the vault forces toxic gameplay. You see, because of how the vault is designed, the optimal way to play the game is to do every single one of the Mythic Plus at plus 15 and do PvP and do raids. That's how you optimally play for the vault. When you are a hardcore or high-level raider, you feel forced to do all of those things so that your vault can be good, right? So that you can get enough options from within your vault. That is the problem. That is the issue. The vault basically acts as a conduit to keep people playing as long as possible. Prometheus, how you doing, brother?
Just to bring up your chance at receiving a legendary. All these things were keeping you in the game, and Blizzard got rid of all of these things. In BFA, you didn't have legendaries. What you had, for example, was Benthic, yet another way of keeping you in Nazjatar to grind mana pearls because you wanted the best possible roll on the Benthic items, the good effect plus the socket. So you can see where I am trying to get with this thought process. The thought process...
Yeah, I see where you're going, and you're heading off the fucking cliff, mate.
Is that it's a complicated situation because you have the feeling, you have the idea, you have the memory of having a better time, having a more engaged relationship with Legion and with BFA compared to Shadowlands. But at the same time, that engagement was the child of manipulative, treacherous, and unethical systems which pushed you to consume.
He blames the systems, but his premise is that the players are to blame for this. Is this guy gonna do some 5-hit fucking 180 turn at the end of this video? Because it feels like that's what we're building towards. He's gonna make this entire video, then at the end he's gonna go, this exposes how Blizzard's game is just designed shit. Because he blames the systems for all the same reasons everyone else does. But then it seems like he's trying to make the point that those systems at least kept people playing. Is this going to be some 5-head fucking thing?
More content, even if you were frustrated, even if you weren't enjoying it that much, just because it was tied to character power. Whereas in Shadowlands, you had the ethical, nice, and player-friendly decision from Blizzard to get...
Okay. Ethical, nice, friendly. Okay. I can't remember when I asked for systems such as Shadowlands, but apparently I fucking did.
Get rid of all of these shackles, to no longer force you to grind anima power, to no longer force you to grind systems because you had some very direct character power attached to these systems. Unfortunately, what Blizzard discovered on their own skins is that if players don't have that type of incentive, they won't really do that content. They won't...
Because the content isn't good. That's why they won't do it, because the content isn't good. If the content was good, people would fucking do it. Make the point, mate. It's right in front of you. Turn away from the light. Turn away from the fucking light. 180 degrees, brother. look at the points that you're making and then link it to the right fucking thing.
Truly engage in a content which only offers some mild transmog and cosmetic rewards, especially if they are pretty pricey and pretty grindy. Blizzard thought that they could substitute increasing the level of your artifact weapon or increasing the level of your artifact necklace. They thought they could replace that amount of grind with grinding anima to unlock a transmog set. Of course, people had not really the same idea in their minds, because they have shown that they were willing to grind that content if it meant they could improve their character, but if you take away all of that and you just leave them with some cosmetic stuff, they're not gonna have the same drive and the same push to complete that content. So, unironically, that is how I feel, and that is why I feel we have a problem right now. The ironic part is that Blizzard has made people more free. They have freed them of all of these constraints, all of these nasty and frankly frustrating constraints and shackles that existed in Legion and BFA that forced you to continue to consume content for player power, even if it was repetitive, even if it was RNG to the max. The problem is that once they removed all of these constraints, the player base realized...
Actually, Gorgie has a good fucking point there. Blizzard have ultimately given us more freedom. You are correct. Because... well, technically, people are now playing other games. That is the max level of freedom that you can have in a video game, right? So, yeah, okay. Okay, I can see where this guy's going with this.
They didn't really have the drive, the incentive, and the push to do any of that content because they just don't care. Which is both funny and sad at the same time, because it drives yet another point to the camp of people who believe that the "you think you do, but you don't" statement is very true. The statement that the player base in the end doesn't really know what it wants.
It's not the fucking fault of the players, bro. It's not the fault of the players. The players wanted a good game. Blizzard designed a shit game and then forgot to add the rewards that keep people playing the shit game. It's not the fault of the fucking players.
Shouldn't really be listened to when developing the game, because at this point, given the reception to Shadowlands, there are arguments to be made. Because what if Blizzard kept all of these blackmails, all of these emotional manipulations in the game to get you to play more? What if the legendary system in Shadowlands had a mini talent tree that you needed to level up with anima power, and anima power was available in world quests and in Torghast?
What if people would still probably have started quitting the game? Why? Because people were fed up with it at the end of Legion. BFA took it to a whole new level. People were fucking fed up with it at the end of BFA. If Shadowlands did the exact same thing, people would probably have ended up quitting even sooner, because people were at their fucking limit. The only difference is that because now in Shadowlands the rewards blow, people are starting to realize, wait a second, but the content blows as well. So there's no reason for me to keep playing.
And in the Maw and in the Kortia dailies, you might very well have kept hearing the complaints of the community, just like you heard the complaint of artifact power farming in Legion, and like you heard the complaint of Azerite farming in BFA, but you are pretty much certain that the players would have spent more time in the game and would have...
Sir Nasher, how you doing, brother? Fuck, it's been an age, man. Happy to have you back. I'll check out your comment in a second. We're almost done with this video. I don't know how much more I can stomach of this video, guys. The guy's takes are miserable.
Have not complained that there was nothing to do in the expansion. What if they made Shards of Domination much larger, like a socket in every piece of item, and Shards of Domination were droppable in every bit of content, and they were completely RNG? Yet another manipulative and treacherous system that pushes you to spend more content at the cost of your sanity and your frustration, because you never quite know when you were going to get the shards you wanted, but you're also certain that you would have gotten people to spend more time into the game because they wanted to power up their character with these shards, so they would have consumed more of the content. What if they made legendary crafting even more RNG? What if they enlarged the ways in which you could obtain Soul Cinders and Soul Ash, so from multiple avenues of content, like make them...
I do not like any of the ideas that this guy is throwing out, so I'm hoping he gets to the point fucking fast.
...available even in World Quests, but crafting legendaries was basically RNG, and you had no ways of choosing which ones you were crafting, so you had to constantly grind this currency to be able to craft legendaries. Yet another system which would have caused people to complain because it made them spend a lot of time chasing these items in-game, but just like in Legion and just like in BFA, it would have made people spend more time in the game. This is why I feel like it's a pretty funny and sad situation, because Blizzard gave the players what they wanted, which was the removal of all of these constraints, this RNG systems, this repeatable grind forced on you because of character power. Unfortunately, this made the player base realize that if they are not being forced, they don't really want to do world quests.
Alright, it's right there now. You've just said it. You've said all the right fucking words in the right order. Now link it. Because the content is shit. Players got what they asked for. Not really. Let's be real. But let's imagine that we're accepting what this guy... we're accepting what this guy says. Yeah? Players got what they wanted. The difference is Blizzard didn't realize that, hey, if we don't make the game fun, people will not keep playing the game. That's the fucking difference. That is the difference. Blizzard needs to make the game fun. They need to make the game interesting to play without relying on rewards. That's the point that this guy needs to get to.
If they are not being forced, they would much rather just do the content they enjoy. For many people, it's...
And being forced in a fucking video game, Look, you're forced to work because you need money. So your boss can force you to do things that you don't necessarily want to do because it's boring, but you have to do it to get money. You should never be fucking forced to play a video game.
Either PvP or Mythic Plus, perhaps just raid logging. So if they don't have anything that is going to force them to stay in the game for character power, then they would rather just not do it. The problem is that then this is going to bring us where we are now, which is the...
No. Because again, you're framing the issue so that it makes your point, but you're not being honest about that. Because, yes, if you're not going to find ways to force people to play your game, and you do this through rewards, right? People will not play your game. If your game isn't good to play, that's the difference. That is the secret to this entire thing. If your game is good to play, you don't have to force people to play the game. They'll just play it because it's fun. They'll play it because it's fun.
He complained that there is basically nothing to do in the game, that the game feels empty and the content just doesn't last enough. Because 9.1 launches, you have your Shards of Domination to obtain. It might take you a couple of weeks. If you raid, you're gonna take another few weeks to get your items to put the shards into. But after that, your chase for character power is over. You don't have to continue grinding world quests. You don't have to continue grinding Korthia or an endless character power gain. You don't want to do multiple difficulties of the raids or chase item world quests because something might Titan Forge and be great. So it severely limits the push, the incentive that you have to stay in the game. This is currently the main issue in Shadowlands. We might talk in the future about what possible solution we could have in the game to fix this. However, it is going to be a quite hard task, because at the end of the day, doing world quests is not too good of an activity, so it's kind of difficult to imagine making people want to do world quests if you don't tie them with character power. But I am sure we might find something worth enough for people.
No, we're not going to find something worth enough, because you keep tying the success of this game to rewards. You keep saying that this game sucks because the rewards aren't there to incentivize people to play the game. The fix is easy. You make the game fun. If it's not fun, why is it in the game? That's the fix. So I could not disagree more with this guy's take. I'm going to stop watching here because I've had enough of this now.
The main issue with WoW isn't that there isn't incentive, it's that the content is boring AF.
Well, the thing is, right, in previous expansions, you had incentive. People started playing the game. Look, Blizzard did a wonderful job of training their audience to only care about rewards, right? This is what Blizzard did better than any other company, to only care about rewards. Players play the game purely for the purple shit that they can get at the end of it. People play the game for that dopamine spike that takes over and makes them feel great, makes them feel good. It gives them a semi-chub, right? Just to see that purple pixels. But at the end of the day, that's not how games should be designed. Games are supposed to be fun. The reward should really be the cherry on top. The reward should be the thing that you get after you had a good amount of time having fun. Now you get a reward and you go, oh my god, this is cool. Nice. I like that. I enjoyed the content, because that's what's memorable. What's memorable almost always is when you do this epic piece of content and you had fun doing it. That remains memorable. It stays with you. It's what is important at the end of the day. The way Blizzard designs their game is basically content is secondhand. It doesn't really matter. No one should really give a fuck about the content, because the only thing that's important for Blizzard is the rewards at the end of the content. Play with friends and follow the story. The moment it became a chore, I lost interest. Speaking only for myself, but I played because I enjoyed spending time with pals and I like the lore and story of WoW. So Nasha, the thing with so I've always said I don't agree with I don't like the argument. And just to be clear here, it's not that I dislike the argument. I have fun playing with my friends because games are supposed to be fun with friends. But I've always said that you could sit in a room with no TV, no technology, no cell phones with your friends and have a good time. Yeah? Everything and anything that you do with friends is almost always going to be fun, right? Especially if you like your friends. So playing the game with friends and having fun with your friends, to me, is not an argument that saves a game. It's just not an argument that saves a game. Because by that logic, if all of your friends started playing ESO or all of your friends started playing Final Fantasy, you'd probably like those games as well because you're actually playing it with your friends. Yeah? I'll agree on the lore bit. There you and I are in agreement. The lore for World of Warcraft used to be very good, and it was the only thing that really kept me going. But the game itself is, oh my god, it is fucking thin. At least in my opinion. And again, different people love different things. I've said this before. Most of you should know that, right?
Let's get real. WoW main issue is that it doesn't has either FF14 slow GCD or potato people. Wait, what?
Golgath. WoW's main issue is the fact that they don't seem to hyper focus on keeping everyone happy. And I realize that's going to sound almost counterintuitive. You can't keep everyone happy. You can. Final Fantasy does this. Final Fantasy keeps all of their players happy. How do they do that? By decentralizing every piece of content. There is no content in Final Fantasy that is linked to any other type of content. If you're a raider, you're a raider. You do your trials, you do your hardcore raids, you have your fun. You don't have to do anything else in the game. You just do your raids. That's what's fun for you, right? If you care about the Golden Saucer, you go gamble. That's what you do in the game. You don't have to do anything else. You just do the Golden Saucer. That's your fun. Your you have a right to do that. You can do Palace of the Dead, you can do Heavens on High. Basically, the game itself offers you a lot of rides, right? It gives you a lot of things to do that's fun, and then just allows you to choose the stuff that is fun. It doesn't really look to force you to do things, even when it's things that you don't find fun. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to showcase our very own editor. Seems to have finally made himself a character in World of Warcraft. This is your character, right, Alex? Not in World of Warcraft, in Final Fantasy. He decided to go with the potato fucking people. Why? Why would you go with potato people? And why did you make your homeworld on Midgard Somer? You should make it on my realm, Alex, so we can actually play together. Oh, but it's on the Ether data center, Alex. So natural. Location Echo is why play a Weeb game. King Julian, because Final Fantasy is one of the best games I've ever played in my life. As far as MMOs go, it might be the greatest MMO I've ever played in my life. I am having the time of my life in Final Fantasy. It's the history of the game, not lore, so no worries. Mighty Random, I do have it open here. I already have it open. Can make a char there. It said it wasn't available for new chars. Fuck. Weeb game, just haters who actually don't know how good it is. Try it before you weep it, dude. Objectively a good MMO. It is. I think, even if you don't want to play it, you cannot deny that Final Fantasy is objectively an amazing MMO. It hits all the right notes for everyone that wishes to play. No matter what type of player you are, you're going to love this game. No matter what type of player you are, you will love this game. You'll find something that is worth your time in this game. You just have to give it a go. You have to give it a chance. I don't think Apocalypse will ever play it. Fowlin, I've spoken to quite a number of PvP players who actually enjoy the PvP in Final Fantasy because it's very different. But also, just to be clear, they have actually recommitted themselves to PvP in Endwalker. They have said that they're going to fix PvP in Endwalker. So they are actually paying attention to Endwalker and PvP. So we'll see how PvP plays out in Endwalker. But it does seem like they want to make PvP better. The game has become a platform. Ascension, what do you mean? Is lacking one thing, a playable Darkcaster such as Necromancy, Eldritch Magics, Insanity, Demonology, Occultism, and so forth. Black Mage, Tomzar. Black Mage is literally all about the occult. I mean, the story for the Black Mage is very dark, like fucking stupidly dark. It's all about the void and basically the evil inside of people and how to control that. Summoner would be another example of something that is quite dark. The Dark Knight, also quite a dark story. Again, having to deal with the void and the darkness. So I would actually say, no, there's more than enough dark stories in this game. By the way, Final Fantasy is very interesting in terms of how it's divided. When you play Final Fantasy for the first time, you sort of look at the game. Look at this character, right? Look at the potato people here. You look at this and you think, oh my god, this game, it's sickening, right? Then you get into the game and you get sort of you deal with some of the dark stories. Just yesterday, we did one of the quest lines where a woman was being raped over and over again. She eventually turned herself into a prostitute, right? That's the kind of stories that they deal with in Final Fantasy. It's dark fucking stories, dude. There's stories in this game where once they get into it, you're like, whoa. Wait, what? I didn't think games should be dealing with fucking storylines like this, but they deal with it. They don't give a fuck. The game is actually much darker than what most people think it is. Much, much darker. Garuda, yes, we've watched it. Oh my god, okay. I like this. I'll show you guys. Echo, have you ever heard of Dark Age of Camelot? Was the best MMO I've ever played as far as PvP. Spartan, I've heard about it, I've watched videos about it, but I've never actually played it myself. Truffle Shuffle, thanks for the deal. What's up, dude? Really appreciate it. 9 months in a row. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I wish they would allow official way for altering visual elements of UI. Well, on the one hand, I actually do enjoy it. I do actually like the fact that the UI is static and you can't really do much with it. New one, Camelot Unchained. Yeah, Camelot Unchained is being worked on. Although, how long is it going to be, do you think, before we even get a Camelot Unchained? Because I think it's still years off. In all honesty. I don't know. Personally, for me, I do think people should give Final Fantasy at least a chance, even if you're not entirely sure if you're gonna like the game. You can at least give it a shot, you know, and maybe you'll be surprised at just how good the game can actually be. It is free to play. You don't have to buy the game, right? You do not need to buy the game. You can play the game basically as much or as little as you want up until level 60. So why not give it a go? What do you have to lose? Is the genuine question. What do you have to lose? Yeah. I like the fact that there's no official support for add-ons in Final Fantasy. It makes the game simplistic enough to where you can actually enjoy it, right? But also, it means that everyone is on the same page. The developers do not have to design content keeping in mind that some people might not use this add-on or some people might use these add-ons. They know that the game that they design, everyone plays at the exact same level with the exact same things. All right, Alex, take care of yourself, bro. I use G-Shade myself, but I use a pretty watered-down version because I don't actually want to change the game fundamentally, you know? I don't need the game to be changed that much, if that makes sense. I use G-Shade just for a couple of things, actually. But I'm not actually allowed to say that because technically I'm not actually allowed to use G-Shade.
That day.
Last update I got on Camelot Unchained was last year, and that didn't sound very hopeful. Is Camelot Unchained another one of those fucking games where it's being sort of made with the community, sort of crowdfunded? Shadow Final Fantasy, I guess I can't really talk because I've never played it. King Julian, I would honestly say, at least give it a go, right? At least give it a go. I'm not trying to convince you to play it, but I would say give it a try. And if you don't like it, that's fine. If you don't like it, that's fine. But considering that it's free, you literally lose nothing. All right, are we going to be... When am I going to be forced to do the Crystal Tower? Praise the 12 that you are hale and whole. I came as soon as Minfilia informed me of Sir Emeric's request. You have completed your investigation of the Keeper of the Lake, I take it. Then I would hear your report. I have looked into Pantheon, and it looks decent. I would need to play it, though. You conversed with Midgard Somer? I swear, were anyone else to make such a claim, I would regard it with considerable skepticism. Are we to understand that the Wormlord did not perish, and has in sooth lain dormant these past 15 years? Less a resurrection and more a rejuvenation for he who dwelleth in eternity, years passing as moments. Though his words were ambiguous at times, one statement left little room for interpretation. My people have heard the song, Ishgard shall burn. Clearly, an attack is imminent. We must share this information with Sir Emeric immediately. When do I fight a dragon, is what I want to know. However, we dare not divulge our conversation with Midgard Somer in its entirety. To even acknowledge that you heard the voice of a Dravanian is a grave but necessary risk. Lest we forget, men have been executed as heretics for declaring as much. For your own protection and for the sake of our tenuous relations with Ishgard, the truth cannot leave this room. So how am I to convince them that there is an attack coming? By the way, Ishgard shall burn. What? No. It's a warning. Are you threatening us? No. Ishgard will burn, but not by my hand? Who are you working for? I'm not... How the fuck do you explain that? Like, how do you convince them that, hey, Ishgard will burn? I'm not actually saying this. This was said to me by the big bad dragon that I can't tell you about because, you know, you guys will burn me at the fucking stake. As for how we shall present our revelation to Sir Emeric's emissary, you may leave that to me. Pray remain here for now. All right, he's gonna do some sweet talking. Maybe it is best that he does it. No one's going to think he's threatening them. Is there something you are not telling us, Akalon? You seem different somehow. It's almost as if you are missing something important. Yeah, am I telling her? 12 for famed. Midgard Somer stripped you of the blessings of light? Are you all right? How do you feel? She is so fucking waifu, bro. Oh my god. You're wearing a fabulous. Lorraine, I know, right? I see. It is a relief to hear that you are otherwise unharmed. Oh, yes, Mulaney, of course I am. It beggars belief that any being could possess the power to deprive you of her blessing. Midgard Somer made mention of a covenant, did he not? One of the ancient myths regarding Silvertear Falls states that when the waters came into existence, so too did the Great Worm. Althik and Nemea, brother Time and sister Fate, decreed that Midgard Somer ever watch over the source from which all water and magic was said to flow. Althik and Nemea, brother Time and sister Fate. So they're not the dragons, they're just things that came into being. They decreed that Midgard Somer ever watch over the source. Okay, got it. I wonder, what if this was the covenant of which he spoke? It was not the gods with whom he treated, but Heidelin herself. Well, If he is watching over you as he claimed, mayhap you will have an opportunity to ask. Let us keep this matter to ourselves. I do not wish to burden our friends needlessly. Of course, my lady. A part of the pantheon of the 12? Ah. Oh my god, it's little fucking dragon boy. Art thou a pawn or master of thy fate? What hast thou wrought by thine own hands, mortal? I've done a lot. Motherfucker is doubting my skill? There we go. Let's hear what you have to say, people.
My friend, I can scarce believe it. You confronted the Wormlord and lived to tell the tale.
He said inside, let's not tell them about the Wormlord. And then he just tells her about the Wormlord. What's going on? Lucia is hot. Georgie, not gonna lie. She's my second, right? In case things don't work out with Minfilia, I will be going for Lucia.
I give thanks to Halone for your preservation. It is our sole cause for gladness.
Yeah,
Your
backup
encounter
plan.
with the Keeper of the Lake served to confirm our fears. A great worm has roared, and it makes little difference if it was one of the two in Eorzea or any other.
Wait. It makes little difference if it was one of the two in a... So there's only two great worms in Eorzea. Where are the other dragons?
The Dravanians are coming.
Okay.
I am told that Ishgard has magical defenses against Dravanian attack, though I am not privy to their exact nature. Will they be enough to repel a massive force?
Ishgard has weathered countless assaults over centuries. This will be no different.
Why do I get a feeling it's going to be different?
And now that you have confirmed the threat, none can ignore the Lord Commander's calls for the wards to be strengthened. I dare not presume to speak for him, but I expect the Lord Commander would sing your praises.
I appreciate
I
that.
must away, but we shall meet again soon.
Peace out, milady. Maybe, Pringles. I'm going to my dad's in about an hour and 20 minutes, so probably not Heaven's Ward today. We'll likely get to Heaven's Ward tomorrow.
Countless assaults weathered, and this will be no different? Why am I not convinced?
You and me, Alphino, same fucking wavelength, bro. We're thinking the same things. I would say we're brothers, but you fucking sure as shit, bro. There's an hour-long cutscene, so probably. Yeah, we'll likely get there tomorrow. My dad and my stepmom they went on holiday like 2 weeks ago, and they've basically been driving throughout the whole of South Africa. They went all the way to Cape Town, the whole Western Cape, Eastern Cape, Northern Cape, and now they're on their way back home. But so they're sleeping over tonight and tomorrow night, so I'm going out with them tonight. So yeah, sadly can't stream for too long, but hey, we'll do what we can. The Ishgardians have warred with Dravanians for centuries, nay, nearly 1,000 years. In all that time, not once have their enemies breached their defenses and entered the city proper. Yet, regardless of how strong these magical wards, Manami, thank you for the follow, really appreciate that. Welcome to the channel. I nevertheless fear that the Ishgardians are underestimating the gravity of the situation. Though it was not Midgard Somer who roared, a call to arms by one of the first brood cannot be ignored. Until such time as they choose to request our aid, however, we can do naught but observe the situation at a distance, and pray that our fears are unfounded. Of course. Ether on demand, here we go. Alphinaud has a message from Moonbreeder for the Scions. Ere I forget, I believe Moonbreeder has requested a gathering of the Scions. I assume there has been some progress concerning our efforts to combat the Ascians. Pray inform her that our business with these Guardians is concluded for the moment. I shall be along once I've completed my communications with the Crystal Braves. Apocalypse, how you doing, bro? Too personal question, but how does your dad feel about your streaming career? Is he supportive? It's weird. He doesn't actually understand it. But then again, he's never really understood me, right? I mean, my dad's a medical doctor. All of my brothers went into normal academic fields. I was supposed to go into an academic field as well. There's basically 3 jobs that my family sort of, you have to be one of those 3 things. You're either a medical doctor or an accountant or a lawyer. Those are the 3 jobs that you're allowed to do. Or that you'll be praised for. I went and I studied acting, right? So my dad never understood that from the beginning, yeah? So yeah, it's sort of weird. He doesn't actually understand it, but supportive is also a strong word with my dad. He's not really, we don't have that kind of relationship. He normally asks me, he'll ask me for 5 seconds, yeah? Tonight, for example, he's gonna go, so how's the YouTube going? And I'll be like, no, it's going really well. And he'll be like, okay, great, thanks. And then we'll move on and talk about something else. All done with your talk of dragons. Wonderful, because Ascians are next on the menu. Let's head into the Solar, shall we? Ooh, I thought you wanted Oriange, but seems like she's got different plans. Let's go into the Solar. No? You can ask, Blue Fairy. I don't mind. I don't think there's any question that I would consider to be too personal. Alright, Ascians. Let's see what the Ascians have to fucking do here. Grandorius, but that is a fucking wonderful top hat, isn't it?
Now that everything's calmed down a bit, relatively speaking, I mean, I thought it might be a good time to share our progress on the weapon.
Yes.
I believe we're on the verge of a breakthrough.
Okay.
Well, don't keep us all in suspense.
Please tell me Manfilia's voice actor doesn't change. I am begging you. I love Manfilia's voice actor. Sweet fucking voice. Please tell me her voice actor doesn't change. Does it change, Arcanus?
Just in case anyone's forgotten, let's start by reviewing what we already know. So, an Ascian is an immortal because its soul doesn't return to the ethereal realm when its host is defeated. Instead, it flees to the place that lies between our world and the void.
I need to know what that place is. The place in between.
Therefore, the first step to permanently defeating an Ascian is preventing its soul from making this journey. And if you recall, when we last gathered here, I had verified that White Auracite has adequate capacity to entrap the beams, albeit only briefly.
Yeah, and then it fucks off again. By the way, I love the way they tell the story using these sort of cinematics. World of Warcraft should absolutely start doing this, because it's insanely cool. Can't answer that question, Echo? Okay.
Which left the small matter of their extermination.
Uh-huh.
Aye. To unmake an Ascian soul, one must needs smite it with a concentrated burst, or blade, of purest ether. However, we wanted for both the data and the means to forge such a weapon.
Mm-hmm.
Our
Short of experimenting on an actual Ascian, you see, there's no way to gauge how much ether its soul is made of.
Let's just capture an Ascian. What's so fucking difficult about that?
As such, we don't know what etheric density our blade needs to have in order for it to work.
Okay.
So we'll just have to make the densest blade we can and hope for the best. Though that would require a lot of ether.
I got this.
Hang on a minute. Why didn't we think of this before? White aurosite can hold an absolute heap of ether, can't it?
Please tell me you're joking. God's sakes, Ida. I feel as though I'm reliving the same scene over and over with you. How many times do you need to be told that white aurosite cannot store ether for long periods?
Oh my god, this Papa Levo, dude. Oh. Oh, yeah.
Being intangible matter, ether is given to dispersion. Only in its crystallized form is it a stable source of energy. I will test you later on this, so see to it you do not forget.
Is Ida really stupid? Like, is he actually stupid or just, sort of, you know, couldn't care less?
Right, yes. It's all coming back to me.
Tataru is pretty cool. Not, like, at times I don't like her that much, but she is pretty cool.
So our hopes rest on good old crystals again, do they? While they are certainly reliable, they leave something to be desired in the area of portability.
She's still hot, Mr. Smokin. Not stupid, just not the sharpest knife in the drawer either. Still hot.
Indeed. I am reminded of the quantity of corrupted crystals required to thwart Leviathan, and the extraordinary lengths to which the Lamentsons went to transport them. What if it should prove that a similar quantity was needed to destroy an Ascian's soul? Or still more?
I think it's gonna be more.
I do not envy the poor sod who has to lug all of that around on the off chance that an Ascian appears.
Yeah, okay.
That's the very problem we set out to solve. And I reckon we've found the answer. If it isn't practical to lug around the ether we need, we'll just have to draw upon another source.
What? Okay.
And the only viable source is the land.
If you mean to tap the Great River of Ether, know that it will entail considerable risk. Meddling with the currents may well induce a surge like to the one which despoiled Mordona.
Huh, okay. I didn't know you could do that. I suppose that makes sense, since ether is pretty much all around.
Give me a bit more credit, will you? Why would we need to tap the river when there are veritable reservoirs jutting out all over the land? I speak of corrupted crystals. It might be that their aspect is out of balance, but a crystal's a crystal. It contains ether, and we can help ourselves to it.
Wait, didn't they say that you would require the purest ether? Would a corrupted crystal hold pure ether? I don't think so. It's corrupted after all.
While corrupted crystals are indeed abundant, there is no guarantee that they will be in close proximity at a crucial moment.
But what if we don't need them to be? What if we could tap their power from afar? A Malm away, say? If we could do that, we'd have ready access to ether aplenty in almost every corner of Eorzea.
But how would you tap them from a mom away? By the way, how far is a mom?
I've yet to put my theories to the proof, but I've got a good feeling about this. If no one has any objections, I'd like to see where this avenue leads.
Mile. That's 1.6 kilometers, right?
If you think it worth your while, you have my blessing. But tell us, what are your theories? I, for one, am most eager to understand the process, however vaguely.
Yeah, I would like to know that too.
I thought you might say that. But no one wants to listen to boring old theories all day, do they? I know I don't. So with your permission, I'd like to try something a bit more hands-on. I've already built an etheric siphon especially for this purpose, and I've been meaning to try it out.
All right. Dirtle Turtle, by the way, love the name. Thanks for following. Really appreciate that. Welcome to the channel, bro.
Thing is, the profusion of corrupted crystals in Mordona makes it something of a high-risk testing ground. If anything goes awry with the siphon, it would be better if it didn't happen within spitting distance of quite so much ether.
Of course.
Ideally, I need an isolated specimen. Does anyone know where I can find one?
BJ Nibbles, thank you for the follow. Really appreciate that. Welcome to the channel. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Mom is a mile, a yam is a yard. I don't know how long a yard is, though. How many meters is a yard? I threw work today since I was doing stuff at 5:30 this morning. Fuck, Avi. What did you do at 5:30? Oh, Apocalypse is trying to give away money. I will never stand in the way of people giving away money. Who wants a gifted sub that gives me money?
May I suggest northern Thanalan? There you will find corrupted crystals of middling size, standing a reasonable distance apart. Ideal for your needs, I should have thought. Oh, and if you do elect to visit the place, I should be much obliged if you would assist me in another matter while you are in the area.
Of course he has another fucking matter. 1 meter is 1.093 yards. See, yards make no sense. America needs to step away from the Imperial system immediately. Come over to the metric system, it works better. Nick, take care of yourself, bro. Thank you much for hanging out.
Has something happened?
Movement has been observed at Castrum Meridianum.
Oh, for fuck. Here we go. I thought we dealt with these assholes.
During Operation Archon, the Alliance dealt the stronghold a heavy blow. Its facilities were extensively damaged, and its garrison reduced to a fraction of its former strength.
Imperial makes no sense. But I heard the other day, someone actually told me that a very large portion of America already uses the metric system. Chefs use the metric system all the time. Basically, cars, any sort of technology, all of them basically use the metric system already. You're looking dapper as fuck. Your tune is looking pretty good too. So Nasha, thank you very much. Really appreciate that, bro.
Not long after our forces withdrew, however, their ranks were replenished by reinforcements from Castrum's sentry. They now seek to rebuild. And to this end, they have their sights set upon the ceruleum processing plant.
By the way, Apocalypse, it seems like no one wants a sub. People don't want you to give away your money. Basically redistributing your wealth to me. Seems like no one in chat is being a good little comrade.
Having lost the Empire's support, the 14th Legion lacks the resources to sustain itself. To them, this is a bid for survival, and they will doubtless fight like desperate men.
I've got this. I can kill as many Imperials as you want.
Though I have dispatched the Crystal Braves, I fear their strength alone may not suffice to stay the Imperial assault. I would request the Scion's aid in the defensive effort.
If I didn't know better, I'd say you were trying to inveigle us into fighting your battle with the promise of shiny crystals.
So basically just the gun industry that's using the metric system.
Well then, consider me inveigled. I won't lie, the crystals you speak of sound perfect, so the Garleans have to go. Besides, we can't afford to beat about the bush. There's no telling when the Arsians will next appear.
The Asians will appear whenever we finish the storyline.
Thine eagerness to hurl thyself into the jaws of danger cometh as little surprise. Exercise due caution, I prithee.
Fucking Oriange, bro.
Though you have become a Crystal Brave, you are yet a Scion, Alphino. We could hardly refuse you. Pray, join the Crystal Braves and lend them your support. Thangred and Papalimo shall accompany you. Ida and Yashtola. In the meantime, I would have you assist Moonbreeder. Scout out the crystal clusters, that the testing may commence as soon as the Gallian threat has been eliminated.
Uh-huh. How are we testing this?
If it please you, I shall continue mine own experiments on white orosite.
To be fair, though, South Africa uses the same caliber system, Omi.
Thank you, Urianger. Everyone, pray see to your preparations and depart as soon as you're able. Go well, and be safe.
Of course, my lady, of course. I don't know. Wait, have we established that Urianger is played by Lothamar's voice actor? I told you, Apocalypse. We have no good comrades in this chat. Horrible fucking communists. Oh, wait, someone wants to redistribute their wealth. Well, I won't take that. Freedom for all. Keep your money, bro. Followed? Oh, PJ Nubbles. I mean, when Apocalypse asks, just say you want it. He doesn't give a fuck. Apocalypse, thank you much for stealing sub, dude. Really appreciate that. The gifted sub, anyways. Keep your dirty money. Giant Rakia, go fuck yourself. Okay? Don't need your negativity here. It would seem that events have once more conspired to rob us of rest and recuperation. Though I would wish it otherwise, I must ask that you head straight away to the processing plant. The 4th have already deployed to the area and await the arrival of the Scions. Wilred will brief you on the developing situation. Meanwhile, I must rendezvous with Captain Ilbred at our headquarters in Uldar. I shall take command of our forces there with a lighter heart, knowing that you go to support the front lines. I still don't trust Ilbred. Your duties take you to Northern Thalanon, do they not? We too must say our farewells to the Rising Stones for a time. Fleneman travels to Uldar, and we shall serve as her escort. At my daughter's behest, I go to contact certain old acquaintances in the Gilded City. We are beset on all sides by civil unrest and imperial machinations, threatened by primals and troubled by dragons. We need all the allies we can muster. Many of my friends hold positions of power, you see, and it is my hope that they can be convinced to aid the Scions' cause. Golga, thank you for the gifted sub, dude. Really appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It is Captain Ilbraid. 100%. If past events have taught us anything, then we know that Eorzea must present a united front or we shall fall. Comrade Praetorican with the 5 community subs. Ladies and gentlemen, can we get some hearts in chat for everyone? Golgoth, Apocalypse, and Praetorican for the gifted subs. Really appreciate each and one of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Neither, it's a homage to my son. Nibbles, I think I'm missing something. I think there's a conversation happening that I'm not a part of. Must be. Must present the United Front? Okay. Ah, how extraordinary that my little Acilia is involved in such far-reaching affairs. I am proud that I might now stand at her side, not only as a mother, but also as a colleague. A colleague with influential connections, but I fear that Uldar has become a place of danger, even for one so familiar with her streets. Bah! Woe betide the blackguard that so much as glares in your direction, milady. So big and strong. I shall be well protected, it seems. Shall we be on our way, then? Ah! Aye, Nibbles. Just thrusting his hoary boulders all over the place? Yeah, that's what he does. Bro, you need a glamour expert, and soon. That is a horrible cloak. Alright, let's go to the processing plant. Arcanox, thank you for hanging out. Did really appreciate it. Take care of yourself, brother. Why do I have 2 quests here? Wilred, how you doing, brother? Commander Nivelier sent word that you'd be coming. A veteran of your talents is most welcome. Not that I don't think we can handle the situation, mind you. I've learned a trick or two since that disaster with the Amalja. But returning to the task at hand. The Flames reconnaissance scouts have reported Imperial soldiers assembling at Raubann's push. Such a force is likely interested in only one thing, getting their hands on the resources found here at the processing plant. The Garleans could begin marching on us at any time. Pray speak with Lieutenant Edelstein, and we might coordinate our counter strategy. In the meantime, I will inform the others that you have arrived. No doubt it will be welcome tidings. Voice acting abilities, I would love to have you read audiobooks for us. I would enjoy doing some voice acting, to be honest. I think it would be fun. I confirmed that Lord Protector Lothmar plays that dude. Not bad. But I have another quest there. It's a dungeon. Wait, what? What dungeon is this? Oh, the ultimate ballad. Oh, okay, never mind. Private Lacronium, my soldiers yet tell tales of your deeds during Operation Archon. Would that we could sit a while and reminisce about old times, but I fear more pressing matters require our attention. The civilian draughtsmen, you see, have come across several highly suspicious crates within the boundaries of the processing plant. I had my sappers take a closer look, and our worst fears were confirmed. These boxes contain powerful explosive devices of Imperial design no less. By my order, the Flames stationed here are conducting a thorough sweep of the compound as we speak. Though it troubles me that we were unable to apprehend the Imperial spy behind this, I have faith that our men will be able to neutralize the threat for now. In the meantime, our scouts bring troubling news of the latest movements of the Imperial army. I would once again ask for your aid. What do you need? This whole concept in itself? True. But it would be fun. I think it would be fucking a lot of fun. We've been keeping a close eye on that Garlean garrison, and it would seem the Imperials have finally begun to mobilize. According to the reconnaissance report that just came in, the squads seen leaving the castrum are too few in number to effectively take and hold our position. They will likely mount a swift assault and focus on the acquisition of resources. I have, of course, also shared this report with the Crystal Braves. They've decided to take to the field to meet this assault head-on. I have apprised your fellow scions of the situation, and am heartened to know that they will be joining the effort. Pray report to Lieutenant Elaine, and lend your much welcome strength to the counter-offensive. Alright. What up? I thought you guys took to the field already? Glad to have you with us, Accolon. As I'm sure Lieutenant Edelstein have explained, the Garleans have deployed a small force from Castrum Meridianum. Their main column assembles to the north near Dalamut's Talons, but we've also spied several squads attempting to conceal themselves on the approach to the west. Ill-bred! They wish to rush forth and commit to battle with the main column, leaving the detached force free to raid the plant and pillage supplies. Not much of a strategy, but these are desperate men. Captain Captain Ilbraid. He's a bit of a sexist. When she saluted him, he did nothing. As soon as Wilfred saluted him, he saluted. The sexist there. Greetings, Scion. I understand the commander bid you and your fellows come lend a hand to the Braves. With such mighty heroes at its disposal, the 4th should have little trouble contending with aught the Guardians might throw at them. But even you cannot be everywhere at once. The 3rd was getting restless holed up in Uldar, so I marched them out here to fill any holes in the plant's defenses and add their numbers to your counterattack. The reinforcements are welcome. We've enough soldiers now to divide our forces and safely engage the enemy far beyond the walls. Aye, 'twould be best to avoid staging a battle anywhere near this much Ceruleum. Let's take this fight to the Garleans. A wise course indeed. I shudder to think of the consequences should any of these storage tanks be exposed to fire. If there are no objections, the Scion shall join the 4th and give battle to this main column. You're with the 3rd, then, Warrior of Light. Your job will be to intercept these squads hiding out in the west and prevent them from reaching the processing plant. When you're ready to proceed, report to Lieutenant Yuhasi. His scouts should have a rough idea of where the Imperials have concealed themselves by now. Alright, here we go. Alexis Chariot, I have Apocalypse. Alright, let's go. Yuhasi. A pleasure to be fighting at your side once more, Scion. Our operations invariably succeed when you're around, and victories are wont to pave the road to greater coin. Now, this detached force we've been sent to eliminate has split into smaller squads, the better to conceal themselves within the terrain hereabouts. I imagine we'll need to split ourselves up as well to cover more ground and make sure we root out all these would-be raiders. And seeing as you're an army unto yourself, I've assigned you your own areas to scour clean of any soldiers. Aye, this will be a simple search and destroy. We'll rendezvous back here when the task is done. Happy hunting, Scion. I don't trust this Yuhasi. Man, this game is making me so fucking paranoid. I don't trust anyone in this fucking game. Oof. How about you all sleep? Alright, I'm in Frost Spec. This game is making you French, beware. How is the game making me French? Highly doubt that it's making me French. Oh my god, that was a fucking huge hit. Did anyone see how much I hit for there? Pretty sure he still had some health left. And I just fucking destroyed him. Okay, I'm gonna pull a lot of things now, by the way. Yep. Okay, this might be the fight of my life, by the way. Not really gonna be fun. Alright. Let's have those two fucking sleep again. Come on. Do your thing. Wait. Is there such a thing as diminishing returns? You are acquiring the paranoia of the French folk? Oh, I'm always paranoid when it comes to playing video games, bro. They're always fucking paranoid when it comes to video games. I trust no one. So diminishing returns do exist. I wanted to say my fucking sleep isn't hitting as good as I wanted it to. You seem grim, Scion. I'll take that to mean that between us, more than a few Ghanaians won't be making it back to the castrum. These Imperials, though, they certainly made us earn our pay. I would be a happy man if I never had to tussle with another of those Magitech horrors. It is time we bid this war-torn land farewell. I will contact the 4th and let Lieutenant Elaine know the West is now clear. I would appreciate it if you would do the same when you report to Lieutenant Edelstein. Right? Did you actually fucking do something, or did you not do anything? Because I don't think you did shit. Sleep's done heavy and slow and bind. So my sleep is getting diminishing returns. Private Lacronium, what news of the Ghanaians? Their raiding parties are no more, then? Excellent! The Amalja engineers will be most relieved to hear that the plant is no longer in any immediate danger. Thank you again for your assistance. You are most welcome, sir. Lieutenant Edelstein appears concerned for Moonbreeder's well-being. You must be anxious for word of your fellows. Lieutenant Elaine has reported a sound victory over the main column and informs me that the Scions have already turned their attention to other duties. All but one, that is. The Rugadan lady with the large axe would appear she has chosen to remain at the site of the battle. I know not what task keeps her from returning to civilization, but Northern Thalanan is no place to wander alone, even for a capable sort such as her. I would certainly feel better about things if you could check in on her before you continue on your way. Well, considering the fact that she's kind of like the fucking reason we're here, that might be a good idea. Base Marauder, Moonbreeder, Dragoneer Flare, how you doing? Where is she? What are you doing, Moonbreeder?
Hold on, I won't be a second. The beast seemed peckish, so I gave it a taste of my axe.
Okay. Fuck.
I know. As Urianger never tires of reminding me. An axe ill becometh the hand of a scholar. What can I say? I like axes. To hear my mother tell it, I came into this world holding one.
That is a big-ass axe, though.
And it's not as if it stopped me picking up a quill, is it? I often think of the man who introduced me to the joys of learning. He's one of the reasons I decided to come to Eorzea. Him and my excruciatingly stiff childhood friend. Considering how unalike we are, it's a wonder we ever got on. The world's a strange old place, isn't it?
She's talking about Urianger.
Aye, that ought to do it.
Ooh.
So far, so good. At these concentrations, it shouldn't matter too much if something goes awry. Just enough ether to make it interesting.
Okay.
Did you see that? The way the crystal glowed? The siphon works, I'm happy to say. With a few refinements, it should satisfy our appetite for ether, which just leaves the small matter of forging our blade. I'm not sure how to go about it just yet, but I swear to find a way. I'll put a blade in your hands if it's the last thing I do.
Why don't we just use the scepter? Isn't the scepter, like, it could be a blade? It's not quite a blade, but fuck, you know?
He senses me. A useful talent.
An Ascian? Are they onto us?
Yeah, it seems
By
like.
your brand, I see you are an Archon of Sharlayan, keeper of knowledge, seeker of truth, meddler.
Nabriales. This is a new one. I don't think we've met Nabriales.
I don't know what the hell's you're saying, but I don't much like your tone.
She doesn't understand him?
Your instincts serve you well. But come, be not unsettled on my account. That lovely brow was not made for frowns. But I waste my breath.
What an asshole, bro.
Let me direct my words to one who understands them. We meet at last, warrior of light. I am Nabriales.
Okay. Them all kicked heavily. Why, Pushin?
And you have long been a thorn in my side. I suffered the overweening presence of La Habrea that men might host the power of gods, only for you to undo my hard work.
So you're the fuckhead behind all of this.
Oh, bugger.
Do settle down.
How powerful are these fucking Ascians though, bro? I mean, he literally stopped the axe in full swing with just his finger, just like... No. Get the fuck off me. Fuck. These Ascians, bro. They're interfering every time.
You must concede that I acted in self-defense.
I don't know about that, though.
But what's this? I do not sense the blessing of light.
Uh-huh.
Oh, dear. Could it be that frail Hydaelyn has forgotten her champion? This I did not foresee.
This is now the second time, the third time actually, that someone refers to Hydaelyn as frail. Gamer Girl Cora, how you doing? Yeah, Moonbreeder was literally there like, oops. Like, that was definitely the wrong choice. They keep referring to Hydaelyn as frail, as if her gifts won't keep working and that she's running out of power. How? I'm not entirely sure, considering that she's light incarnate. She should not be running out of power, should she?
Shorn of light as you are no longer a threat. And better yet, the seal is broken.
What seal?
Now is the time to claim the staff.
Gamer Cool Cora, thank you for the follow. Really appreciate that. Welcome to the channel. Louisoix staff. It's the only staff I can think of. Traveling Lalafal, welcome to the channel. Happy to have you here.
With it in my grasp, I shall rise above them all and take my place at Lord Zodiac's right hand.
Oh my god, okay. Sure thing, brother. Ario,
What
you'll
did
be
that
late?
bastard want with us?
Not with us, with me, Moonbreeder. You were sleeping.
Nabriales, he calls himself. With charm like that, I'll bet he has maidens falling at his feet. Unconscious.
Okay.
But this staff, you say just talking about it had the bastard grinning like a brat on his name day. Must be quite a staff.
It must be Louisoix stuff. Throughout the entire AOR Quest campaign, quite a few times, the camera kept panning to Louisoix staff, and Menphilia keeps looking at the staff as if it means something. So when he said the staff should be taken, I'm assuming he's talking about Louis Swastov, but why would Louis Swastov be so important to the story?
Oh, gods. He means Tupsimati, Master Louis Soir's staff.
That is not a cool name for a staff, though, bro. You could have called it so many other things, and they call it Tupsimati. What the fuck? That is a failure of a name for a staff. Tupsimati does not strike fear into the heart of men. It does not. When a bad guy comes up to you and says, behold, Tupsimati, you'll laugh. Look how that's a funny name.
Minfilia's in danger. We have to get back to the Rising Stones.
Not Minfilia. Let's go. Let's go. I'm going back. We need to save the waifu. Let's save the waifu. Quick. Of course, I'd be attacked by something first. The Mock Man staff. I'll mock a staff that has a stupid name. Right. Rising Stones, here I come. We need to save Minfilia. And as most of you know, Minfilia is waifu, which means we cannot say no. What the f... What the fuck kind of mount is this? How do I get that? This looks cool as shit, bro. Is it the store mount? Fuck my life, bro. This is so cool. Sucks that it's the store mount. Unlock the Weeb title. I think I've already unlocked that. I refuse to spend money in the store, so... You're here! Master Louis' staff is kept in the solar, isn't it? Quickly now. Let's save Minfilia. The Weeb Games, then, oh crap. The original quest line?
You too.
We arrived in time. She's alive.
So, you were able to divine my intent. What now, warrior of light? Ah, but that name is no longer fitting. You have become decidedly dull and quite incapable of barring my entry.
Oh, I'm gonna fucking shit on you, Nabriales. Gamer Girl Cora, I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. And I'm gonna fuck with you. We'll see. The game has been fucking with me for literally from level 1. I am strong as fuck, boy.
You truly do not know? Then I suppose it is only right that I enlighten you.
The voice actor does such a good job of literally appearing like a dickhead. Be honest, if you met someone speaking like this in real life, you would punch them.
The blessing of light kept you and your fellow meddlers safe. It was that which prevented my kind from entering your domain.
Okay.
My kind, I say, though it had no power over the likes of Elidibus and La Habrea. Being of this world, they could come and go as they please, while I could only look on.
Wait, Elidibus and La Habrea... Wait, so there's different types of Ascians, or is this only referring to the fact that they were inhabiting other bodies? So that's why they could come and go, because they weren't in their own bodies, and he is actually in his own... So there are different types of Ascians, okay?
But I need look no longer. Now that the seal is gone, I mean to act. Unlike the others, I am not given to waiting. I shall take that staff and bring about the next rejoining.
Fucking come at me, bro. You with your mutton chop sideburns. Let's do this.
Rejoining? Then it was your doing. The Isle of Val, the scholars, all of it.
You will not harm her!
Mumbrita, I do not rush in again. This guy's gonna fuck you up. There we go.
Moonbreeder!
What the
Why must you insist on forcing my hand? Did you learn nothing from our last meeting? Ah, but I forget. My words fall upon deaf ears.
He fucking wrecked
The
her,
staff
bro.
is but a broken relic, a memorial to the departed. What possible use could you have for it?
What use? You mean to say that all this time you kept the key, never knowing what it was you possessed? The staff Tupsimati, or rather the stone tablet it bears, is host to a great power.
Okay, what
Together
power?
with the horn, it can be used to draw vast quantities of ether from its bearer's surroundings. How else do you think Louis Soir was able to invoke the power of the 12 without making them an offering of crystals?
Wait, so that power can draw upon the 12? Fuck my life.
Summoning requires not only prayer, but a profusion of ether. Even a child knows that.
But how do I get that stuff? I think as the hero of this story, I should get this stuff. Sounds like the sort of powerful relic that only myself can wield.
If I did not know before, you may be certain I do now. But above all, I know that we cannot allow this staff to fall into your hands. I will die before I let you take it.
Don't say that! He might kill you. If you die, that's gonna be fucking miserable for the rest of the story.
Insufferable woman. I would happily end your miserable life here and now. Alas, Elidibus would never let me hear the end of it.
He insulted my woman. Alright. Let's go, you fucking asshole. No one insults
Very
me,
well.
Philia.
If you will not part with the staff, I will take you too.
You fucking what, mate? Let's go. He took her! Tell me I get to take her back. Fuck, Moonbreeder, you are useless. Hot tattoo, though.
After them! Quickly! Before the rift closes!
I got this, I got this. Don't worry about it, I got it. The Chrysalis now accessible. Alright. Sadly, and I do say sadly, this is where we have to end tonight. I basically have to get ready and we have to leave. My father's waiting and it's already 30 minutes. It's 5:30. So we do have to end it here tonight. But I think that's good because we'll be back tomorrow. And tomorrow we're actually going to be playing the whole day. So we'll be playing from the first minute that we start the stream. I'm not going to be doing just chatting tomorrow. We'll jump straight into the story and see if we can finish ARR tomorrow so that we can start on Tuesday with Heavensward. So we're going to try and finish ARR tomorrow. I want to thank each and every one of you for coming out, for hanging out with me. It's been an absolute pleasure. I hope that I'll see all of you tomorrow back here. Take care of yourselves. Be kind to each other. Be good to each other. And as always, I'll see all of you in the next one. Have a wonderful evening or afternoon or morning, whichever time of the day it is for you. Love you guys. Peace out, fam.